What up, y'all? In this episode, we had Adam Fujawa. This was a fun conversation, man. I really enjoy Adam. If you've ever taken one of his classes at 10th Planet, he's just an awesome guy, just an absolute character. Never a dull moment. We had a great time. Conversation ranges, and we cover a wide variety of topics. It was really interesting hearing his perspective on things. He just got his black belt at 10th Planet, and that same weekend he had a heart attack after completely demolishing dudes in rolls. And so he's an absolute savage. We had a ton of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, so I hope y'all do as well. And as always, shirts are for sale. We have lots of smalls, lots of mediums. So if you want one, let me know. We can ship one out to you. They're $25. And as always, use code Brodey when shopping at Redmond's, whether it's for your salt, relight, your electrolytes, your toothpaste, or any of their fantastic products. Use code Brodey and get 15% off at checkout. Enjoy the episode, y'all. 1, 2, 3.
Woo! All right.
Adam.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Jordan Brodey, what's up, bro?
Oh, my gosh, man. It's been, it's crazy times, but I'm happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you.
I've been doing depressing episodes. Well, I guess only really one depressing episode, but I'm excited to see you because I haven't seen you since you got your black belt. So fucking congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
10th Planet black belt.
Yeah, there's some imposter syndrome with that the first week or so. You're like, whoa, dude, what? I got a black belt?
Yeah. How's that feel?
It feels good. And I've been talking to a lot of black belts since, and it's weird. Like I was talking to Luke Perry the other day, but I've been talking to other black belts that had black belts for a while too. And Luke and I both, like, there's some wizard shit that comes along with it just when you receive it, and then people realizing you are a black belt. But your game matches the black belt. It's weird. There's a lot of imposter syndrome, but there's also a lot like, oh yeah, I do things to people that not everybody can do in jiu-jitsu.
This is true. You be fucking people up.
Yeah, I miss seeing you down there.
I know. I'm gonna come to one of your classes. I've always enjoyed. Fridays were just always the best days to go down there because it was just so much fun. Because we would always do class and then game night. At least that's how it was for a while. And so we would always play either like King of the Hill, or we would always play something when Jeff was coaching on Fridays. And so Fridays were just always so much fun anyways. Because it was the day where we got after it.
Absolutely.
It was a blast.
Well, I think 7 o'clock every day is getting after it these days. Yeah. And Lauren and Jacob lead that one now.
Yeah.
But yes, Fridays we do my class and then straight into open mat. Hell. But we played King of the Hill for half an hour last Friday, but usually I do just teach my whole class now.
Yeah.
But I called Jeff when they handed me the reins, and I was like, hey, tell me about your class, and I'm sorry I'm taking it over. But Jeff and I are super tight.
Yeah. So. But dude, your class is growing. You had what, 30-something people on Friday? Yeah. I saw that picture.
Yeah.
That's one of the coolest things that I think 10P does is the picture after every class.
Oh, dude, I love it. I was talking to somebody about this. It's because Jacob Norton will take pictures and not always post them. I'm like, why do you take the picture if you're not going to post it? I was like, I need that. And my ego needs that picture, dude. I need the proof that I've been in this class, Doc.
So how long did it take you to get your black belt?
I started in, I have it fully documented. So, I started in February 2017. Lauren Sears and I and Zach Moore all started like the same week. Sears, she had 9-year black belt like me, kinda, but she left for MMA for a while, and she's the most savage out of that class, me, Luke. I mean, it's Lauren Sears. She's top 10 in the world.
You know what's crazy? I worked with her way back when.
That's wild.
Yeah. I knew her. So she was a blue belt. But then she took a long time off.
Yeah.
And she was doing Muay Thai, MMA. And we used to train, not necessarily her and I, but we used to have mats in our office that we worked at. And so we would train, and every once in a while she would jump in and she would talk about how she's trained for a bit. She was a blue belt, but she was taking a hiatus. But we would train because we had a few wrestlers. And so we would just fuck around on the mats all the time.
Yeah.
And so she was just Lauren Sears at that point. And so she was a success manager. We used to work at Six Pack Shortcuts, if you remember that.
No, what is this?
It was like a supplement company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I was in customer service, so doing answering the calls, and then I moved over to the sales team. And she was what they called like a success manager, essentially like an account manager. And so she was working with the clients, making sure that they were enjoying the products, et cetera. And we were selling supplements and workout programs. And this is like, I had just graduated college. So this is like 2015, 2016.
Oh, this is way before I ever met Lauren Sears. That's crazy.
And so, yeah, we used to all work together. There. And so that's how I know of her. I don't really know her. We exchanged maybe a handful of words since then, or even at Six Pack Shortcuts, but that's how I know of her. And I've been following along that journey. And so it's been fucking cool to see.
She's one of my favorite people on the planet. Her and Jacob Norton.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to learn something from jiu-jitsu, they'll talk. I text her and Jacob all the time to ask about stuff. I'm like, I'm doing this. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. They will not only send you a book in text when you see them next, they're going to help you.
Yeah. They're sweet.
Yeah, practice and drill it as much as they can. Lauren is one of the few women. She fights at 115, so maybe she walks around at 120, but she's jacked. One of the few women where, like, I remember like 4 years ago, I was like, listen, I'm going full strength and full weight with you. And she still taps me sometimes. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. There was a girl that was on the podcast, Autumn. She competes at like 150, but she sometimes walks around as much as 180. And when we go, I'm like, dude, there is no taking it easy.
Not in jiu-jitsu?
No, fuck no, dude. You're gonna try to kill me.
Yeah, it's like, believe it or not, I don't think people believe this, but if the weight is close and they're technically really sound, it's like tennis or golf. Like, a woman can beat you at it for sure. If she's 180, dude, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, she's strong. I mean, she was training. She does 2 sessions a day plus a CrossFit session. So she was just fucking jacked.
Yeah.
At 180, just fucking throwing me around. I'm like, all right, look, we're gonna have to up this a little bit because this is embarrassing.
Hell yeah.
So you only been doing jiu-jitsu for 9 years?
9 years.
Fuck yeah.
So the first couple years, Luke Perry was doing, so our buddy Mike was doing jiu-jitsu in LA at Gracie with Huron and Henner. And Luke had done some jiu-jitsu in the Marines. And Mike came to town, and him and Luke, we were all hanging out and they were drunk one night, and Luke armbarred Mike, who was training at the Gracie's University. And then Mike went back home and was like, hey, there's a 10P there. You should go train there. And Luke started that. So for 2 months, Luke every day was like, Adam, come do jiu-jitsu with me. And he'll tell the story like this, and I probably said it. But I was like, dude, I know how to fight. I have hands. I can fight, bro. Don't worry about that. I was like, but I'm focused on Shake Shack right now. I was focused on my career. And so 2 months went by, and just to shut him up, I was like, I'll come do jiu-jitsu with you. So I went in there, and the picture of that day is like me, Lauren, Zach, Luke, in this tiny little room at the Onnit. And then so after the class, I was like, this is amazing. I'll sign up for 2 days a week. I have time for 2 days. At the end of the week, I came in and the girl at the desk was like, you've used 5 of your 2 days this week. I was like, bump it up to the full membership. And then I was doing 2 days for the first 2 years, as much as I could.
Yeah.
I don't know how I pulled that off with work, but I'd be in at lunch. But honestly, we were nighttime. Curtis would teach both classes. So it would start at 6 and we wouldn't leave till 10.
Yeah.
So I was there every night for 4 hours.
Yep.
My wife was going crazy.
Yeah, luckily she trains, so she gets it. She's not as obsessed as I am, but she definitely understands the obsession. Because, I mean, I'm training at noon, and then if I can, I would like to go at night when I'm not completely fucked up. The shoulder's just fucked.
Oh, yes. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, shoulders. The shoulders are the first to go, I've noticed. Both shoulders. This one has recovered mostly now since I've been off now 3 months. So then got stem cells in my lower back and then jumped on TRT. So I'm feeling a lot better. So I'm excited
How old are you, sir?
32.
On TRT?
My testosterone was low.
Damn, son.
I know, it was 509.
That's a cheat code to be 32 on TRT.
Dude, I haven't rolled since. And so now it's been 2.5 months-ish on TRT. So it's fully kicked in. And so I'm excited. It's a small dosage. It's like 120 a week. So nothing crazy by any means.
3 days a week you do?
3 days a week.
How much?
20 units.
Yeah, I do 0.25.
Yeah, okay. 3 times a week?
The heart attack made me cut back.
Yeah? Do you think they were related at all?
I think genetics plays a big part in it. My mom passed away of a heart attack. Both my grandparents, both sides of the family. But in their 70s. Mom was pretty young, 69. But my grandmas were late 70s. And then my uncle on my dad's side, so his mom died of a heart attack, is 88, alive, crushing life. Golfs 3 days a week, plays pool every night, gets on his roof. And 88, pacemaker, valve, and a stent. I have just a stent.
You had a stent from this one? Or did you have it before the...
No, this is brand new. I'm a month into owning a stent in my veins or heart, whatever it is.
Dude, you were at jiu-jitsu, bro.
I was at jiu-jitsu.
On camera.
On camera. Yeah, I'm actively having a heart attack when Rocio is strangling me.
Yeah, dude.
On camera.
What did that feel like?
Well, dude, I think subconsciously, I keep telling everybody this, I think subconsciously I knew because I think my chest hurt different than a knee to the chest or like a muscle tear. Mm-hmm. But I was being very in denial. So it started, I rolled like 6 rounds that day. And I'm 47, so I'll take a round off a lot. Like I might roll around and then take a round off. But I was like, oh, my chest hurts a little bit. I was like, that's weird. But I keep telling people when I run for a long time, or if it's like kind of cold, I get like a numb tongue feeling all my life. I get a weird feeling in my mouth. And like if I try to go rinse it out with water. So I thought that was happening and it was just like going down my esophagus. But it wasn't. So like I did my last round. I tapped 3 people having a heart attack. And so I did my last round.
You know how crazy that is, dude.
In a room full of savages that day because it was, I got my black belt Friday, B2B heart attack Sunday. So it was all these schools with lots of black belts in the house. There was crazy rolls in there. There was a lot of good rolls in there.
Yeah, because that was the Christmas party time.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So it was like the biggest.
Many schools were there. Yeah, lots of good 10 people. So I was walking around and I went up to one of the ladies there and I was like, Kelda, my chest hurts. And she was like, oh, you should go to the ER right now. I was like, chill the fuck out. It's not. I think I probably got needed.
Hold the fuck up. Hold on.
But I had already been over to the medical little thing on the wall and looking for aspirin. So that's why I say subconsciously I probably knew because I was like, oh, my chest hurts. And the first thing I did was go look for aspirin. I'm not an Advil or an Aleve. I was like, I should get some aspirin going. So I think I knew. So I was like, chill out, Kilda. And I went over. We had the door open there at Tempe. And I was standing next to a gentleman more my age. And I was like, hey, my chest kind of hurts. And he was like, you should go to the ER right now. I was like, chill out, dude. Why do everybody keep telling me? Then I refused to tell anybody else. And so the room was full of cool people. I sat with Zach for a while. I sat with Zach Moore for a while. I just started BSing with people, partially because I was like, all right, I shouldn't drive. I don't want to fall out in the car. So that was 1:30. An hour went by. It's 2:30. I was like, actually, I don't think it hurts a tiny bit. I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna go home. I'll tell my wife and I'll have her monitor me. So I came up from the water fountain and it shot through my chest this way and into my armpit. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I was like, but it's going to the right. So I'm probably okay. Heart attacks happen to your left arm. That's what I've always been told. But in my armpit freaked me out. Like you have shoulder problems. I feel my shoulder pains like this.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't feel my shoulder pains here, from here into here. I was like, that seems like a direct route for blood.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
But I still I was like, I'm going to get my car and go home. So like now I was scared enough. Now I was like, oh yeah, there's something bad happening. So I made it halfway home and I knew there was an urgent care right by this exit. And I was like, I almost subconsciously took the exit. I was like, I should, and I was already exiting. I was like, yes, this is good. So I went there. They gave me the 4 aspirin and they did an EKG. And they're like, your EKG is fine. And I'm going to listen to your heart. Your heart is fine. And the doc's like, but you should go get your enzyme checks. And now it's like 3 o'clock. This started at 1:30. I was like, cool. I went home.
I'm glad to know I'm not the only one.
Such an idiot.
Because this is some shit I would do for sure.
Which is why later, after the surgery stuff, I just started blowing up social media. I want people, I like to, my wife does too. We like to share trials and tribulations of life because, especially men, we're in denial and we're idiots. Like, so it's 3:00.
Yeah.
My wife, I called her from urgent care. And she's like, I want you to call, one of my best friends is in Pittsburgh. His name's Clinton. He works in a cardiac ward in the hospital. And I called him. He's like, yes, I need you to go immediately get your enzymes checked. So I waited almost 2 hours. I talked to him for like an hour and then I hung up. It's now 5. And I was like, I call my wife Lady. I was like, Lady, I'll just drive myself to the hospital. I'm sure I got knee in the chest or I tore my 20 minutes into the hospital. So they pulled the blood and that's how they check enzymes. It's an enzyme. And it only happens when your heart is damaged, this particular enzyme. Okay. So 20 minutes, I was just in this ER, mind you, 3 months prior. The FC game I was talking to you about earlier, his older brother wanted to tube with me. He's 15, he's jacked. He climbs competitively. I was like, we should not get on this tube together. And the captain threw us and he elbowed me and split my face open. I got 12 stitches. But I was back in the ER for that, in my bed with 40 other beds around me. Everybody came in, got triaged and helped in their bed for like 3 hours. And then we all got released from our beds. 20 minutes into the heart attack, like, we got this room back here. I was like, why we go into a room? We get in the room, like 4 doctors walk in and they're like, you're having a heart attack. So the enzymes, whatever the scale is, they're like, you are not the Olympic record holder for enzyme scale, like the most we've seen, but you're in like 3rd place. I was like, fuck. Like, we got a bed for you upstairs. Call your wife and tell her to get over here. It was a whirlwind. So that happened. And then that was Sunday night. And then, so by 6 the next morning, I was getting a stent already. And then they released me on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, my cardiologist, great guy, came in and he's like, you can go walk a golf course right now and you can play golf. He's like, in 1 week, you can go back to drilling. And then let's wait 1 month and you can start rolling again. I do cardiac PT. I walk 3 miles every morning. I got to keep my heart between like 90 and 100 BPM. So hard to do as a jiu-jitsu person.
Yeah.
If you walk as fast as you can walk, you're going to get your heart up to like 81, bro.
Yeah.
We're in way too good a shape.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Dude, you had a heart.
Bro, at 47.
Then what is a heart attack? Like, well, how are you? How are you just functioning the whole day?
I can explain it. It's so weird, and nothing prior to this.
You didn't pass out.
No,
didn't collapse. Nothing.
No shortness. So that's a great question. I can explain 2 things on that. I can explain a bunch of things right now. So here's how mine felt. Take a vice and put it 360 and squeeze this way. Okay. So I had no shortness of breath or no dizziness. It just felt like things were getting tighter, right? And the other one is like, the one where people have the bad one is like an elephant. They literally say, it feels like there's an elephant sitting on my chest and I can't breathe and I'm getting dizzy. I didn't have that. I just had this tightness and I was like, there's no way. In your head, you're like, well, that's weird. It's the center of my chest. And when it starts shooting toward your arm.
That would, yeah.
By the time I got to urgent care, it shot into my elbow. So this way, through the armpit, down into my elbow. And in urgent care, I was doubled over. But I could have some anxiety at that point, too. You can really freak yourself out and start to blow things up. What
would have happened if it would have made it to your hand? Like, where does it just...
No.
What happens if it hits the end of the road?
I think if my wife isn't persistent on getting me to call Clinton and then Clinton isn't persistent on getting me to go get the enzymes check, I go to sleep that night and maybe just don't wake up. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you because I had a heart attack for 5 hours, like a massive heart attack. I'm a savage, dude. That's how I talk about, dude.
For real, though. That is crazy. I mean, it's also crazy because at 47, A, you're in phenomenal shape.
Dude.
And B, you roll hard as fuck.
I roll hard as fuck. Which is really annoying right now because everybody, I have to be like, don't treat me like that. Roll hard, dude. And they're like, well, it's all right. Where's it going? I'm like, don't do that. I want your A game. If you tap me and I can't breathe, it's fine.
Damn, so how's that been coming back?
It's been good. All the people that smoke me still smoke. Dylan, that gym is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
There's other black belts in there that got black belts with me that I haven't been able to touch in years. Dylan Spire can tap me almost anytime we roll, and I can tap him like twice a year. And that's been like that since we were white belts. Him and I, white to black through Tempe together.
Yep.
Luke Perry, white to black, Tempe together. Connor. Connor Jashin is a fucking animal.
Dude, fucking shout out to Connor, bro. Connor is a monster. He's so creative. He's so much fun to roll with. He's so creative.
No, I hate rolling with him.
Dude, it'll be slap bump on your back, and you're like, hey, bruh, what?
Bro.
Why?
He's technically superior, but so fast, too.
Yeah. Very decisive.
Yeah, dude. His game, he's whatever.
It's a beautiful game.
Wants to do, he's doing it. Yeah.
It's a beautiful
his game is crazy. He's a back-taking fool.
Yeah.
He's a passing fool.
Yeah.
That's why I don't roll. My ego just can't even handle it. I'm like, you're younger than me, and you're incredibly fast and strong and good, and it's just not that fun for me. Dylan will go my speed.
Okay.
And Dylan likes to go that speed.
Yeah.
So he's similar to me, even though he's actually a far superior jiu-jitsu player too, but I can keep up with them and then get lucky sometimes.
But not to mention, you're older than all of them.
I am.
You're double Connor's age.
I have a hard time with that, though. Like, I still just think...
Because you're a savage.
You
had a heart attack for 5 years. I mean, 5 years.
5 hours.
5 hours. 5 years. For 5 hours, you had a heart attack.
Yeah, so if you look at heart on a thing, this is what it looks like. This is the right side.
Yep.
And there's 2 big arteries, and the left side has a bunch of arteries. And this is the one that kills people the most. It's called the LAD, the Widowmaker. A little artery, not even on the thing, is what clogged up here for me. This time, LCG. Oh, dang. We're crushing it.
The LCG.
Yes, left coronary artery there. In that, there's one that it's up there. It's smaller.
So do you have to be on blood thinners now?
Maybe that great cardiac vein is what I messed up. Maybe. It's on the left side. So I am on blood thinners for 1 year. I have to
Really? They're going to let you come off?
Yes, so platelets will clog your veins just like, what is it that clogged me up called? Plaque. So there's plaque in your veins, just like, I don't think it's like.
Brushing your heart?
Yeah, I got to brush my heart. I'm not allowed to go to the dentist for 6 months. I'm not allowed to go to the dentist for 6 months.
Why?
Because you have a lot of bacteria in your mouth, and then we're cleaning that bacteria off, and it goes right in your blood and straight toward your heart right away. And you can get an infection really easy. Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I went to the dentist last week, and they're like, any changes in your medical history. I don't think my dentist, who's like 78 and about to retire, knew that. Like, my hygienist, I was like, yeah, I had a heart attack. And they're like, all right, really, what's going on? I was like, I had a fucking heart attack, dude. I know it's hard to believe.
It is very hard to believe.
Genetics, man. But let me tell you, I've been eating salami sandwiches 4 days a week since I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
That can't be good for you.
Well, I mean, salami.
I smash.
There's probably definitely better.
But I also am not. I've been that guy that can eat anything and lose weight. So my insides look different than my outsides.
You just have a crazy metabolism.
I have a crazy metabolism.
How much do you think drugs had an effect in this long term?
Probably
or drug use.
Probably a lot.
I mean, it's got to be like. But you've been sober now for 14 years.
14 years, but I loved cocaine more than anything.
Do you think that over time?
I loved all drugs, though. Most addicts can probably attest to that. Like, if you put a drug in front of me, I was going to do it. I actively searched for cocaine, and I imagine, yes, that had a lot to do with it.
Interesting.
You got to imagine cocaine weakens the heart. We could probably look that up, and it's like, yes.
Yes, it does.
But I don't know if it causes plaque buildup. I think that's the genetics. I don't even think it's the food so much. But it was hard for me to believe that because
I have a hard time with the genetics part. Just because they always
cause a heart attack, sure. That makes sense.
The use of it, yeah. But
I said can lead to heart attacks, but yeah.
Even first time use.
Yeah. You get the good
what about long term use? Here we go. Hold on there. Go scroll down real quick. Long-term damage. Repeated use, even without immediate symptoms, can
Yes.
cause permanent damage to the heart structure, such as an enlarged heart or aneurysms, increasing to the long-term risk of heart
I didn't have that. I don't know if we want to call clot an aneurysm. I guess it could be. I feel like they just say clot, though.
I also didn't know that aneurysms could happen throughout the entire body.
Chest pain and tightness.
Well, that's a symptom of a heart attack. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, he knows that now.
That's the problem with the aneurysms and the clots. Is like it can be in your foot, but
Yeah.
it has to go through all the blood lines, and then it eventually makes it to your brain, and that's where you run into the problem.
Yeah, I didn't know that an aneurysm was just a clot.
It is. I mean, it does make sense that we are just recycling that blood all through our body.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, drugs had a lot to do with it. That's how I met Luke Perry.
Really?
Rehab.
No shit.
Yeah.
So is that how you got clean?
So I wanted to get clean. The city of Austin sent me to that rehab, but I wanted to get clean. I was at the point in my life during that. So my wife and I have been together 15 years now, married 14 of those. Year one, she was in New York for the first 6 months. She'd come to see her sister. I was living with her sister. Her sister was dating one of my good friends. And we all lived in a house together on Manchac. And she came to visit that sister, and I met her, and I was like, oh, I like you a lot. And then so we were jumping back and forth. She didn't know. When she was out here, I was just at the bars with her, having a couple cocktails. She didn't know I was indulging heavily in cocaine at the time. So for 1 year, she saw a side of me that she obviously hates, and I didn't like. But I would come home to her and be like, dude, I was in the driveway, and I was like, just go inside, and I'd peel out of there and be at the dealer's house. But I would come home and I would cry in front of her, and I'd be like, I don't want to use drugs anymore. There's a switch back here that's keeps turning on. Consciously up here, I don't want them. Subconsciously back here, the body's like, go get them. Drug use is crazy like that. So I really wanted to get sober, and the program we went to is amazing. It's called a SMART program, and it worked for me. 14 years. I love it. I don't think about, do I have, on a hot day, I'll want a beer once in a while, and I don't go to AA or anything anymore. I'll walk into a gas station, I'll run in and see the cashier, and I'm like, I want to drink a beer. And the guy's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, but I'm not going to. And then I leave.
I love that.
And sometimes I still dream about cocaine.
Interesting.
That's a weird one.
Like actual dreams.
Yeah, but you can't ever.
When you're sleeping,
you can't
or
ever.
daydreaming?
Yeah, while you're sleeping, you can't ever really get to the drug. There's two weird things that happen in dreaming about drugs. You can't ever really get to it, or if you do, it doesn't get you high because you're not doing it. So you're like, this is bullshit. But that's about it, and that happens once or twice a year.
Wow. Does anything induce that?
Probably stress. Oh yes, three things do induce it: stress, hunger, and lack, and not sleeping properly. All these things, fatigue, tiredness, which is not sleeping properly, induce thoughts of wanting to use always.
Interesting. Why did the city of Austin send you?
Well, I got those hands.
You got in trouble.
I would go to the bar a lot. I liked going to the bar. And I was exceptionally fun at the bar. And I wasn't trying to fight people. But at the end of the night, I guess I'll give you some background on this. My grandfather was 6'4", Al Fujawa, Golden Gloves champion, and then fought professionally. I tell the story as he fought twice professionally. I don't know how many times he fought professionally, but the last time he fought professionally in Chicago, he almost killed the man, and my grandma was like, you're not boxing anymore. You almost killed that dude.
In the ring.
In the ring. So
boxing's
from
crazy.
age 3 on, my brother and I were in boxing gloves, and my dad and my grandpa taught us how to punch people. And we would fight each other in the living room with our cousins. In Indiana, that's where we would summers with my dad in Indiana. My parents were divorced. So redneck cousins, all 20 of us in there beating the shit out of each other with your professional boxing grandfather showing you how to punch each other right. So at the end of the night at the bars, if I saw somebody getting picked on, I would blow kisses at the bully. And they'd be like, are you blowing kisses at me? I'd be like, yeah. And that would always lead them to wanting to fight me and leave that person alone. And I'd go outside. And so I got in so many fights down there that the city drew a map. You're not allowed down here anymore. And this was after the last one, which also I had some cocaine residue in a baggie in my pocket. So they realized I had done some other things here in town too a couple of years prior. And they're like, you have a drug problem. We're going to send you to this drug counseling center.
Well, better than jail or prison.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It was a 6-month inpatient program, and I only got to see my wife on Saturdays. We weren't married yet.
So you had to stay there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And you could only use the phone on Tuesdays.
Really?
So it was a strict, rigid program, which most addicts need. We need structure, rigidness, and we need to follow those guidelines to realize, because we're chaos off the rails when we're on drugs. So you need the exact opposite to get clean. You got to be structured, rigid, structured, daily schedule.
Interesting. Yeah. How long into the program did you feel like either this was working, or was there ever a time where you were like, this is not working?
I was working the program, which is what we call it. I was doing what I need to do, but you don't know until you could leave, and it's dude. And this is how drugs work. I was in jail one time, and I was there for like 6 months, and I got out. I was like, I'm gonna do great. I got out. Some dopehead was like, "Come smoke crack with me," and I was like, "Yeah, all right." And that's how it works. The universe will test you in the best ways and the worst ways. So I was like, I might get out of here in 6 months, and the first thing that happens is I'll run into Bob with a pound of dope on him, and I'm like, "Yeah, let's go do that." So it's not until you get out. But I got out, and my wife had given me. It was like when I went in, she was like, this works or I'm not going to be around. And I love her and I chose her. No. So you got to do it for yourself, but that helped a lot. I was like, I don't want to lose you.
I was about to ask, what's the difference now between then and now?
So now, also this is a very important part. I say I don't do AA and stuff. I did do it for the first year, but the drug center that I went to is cognitive. So that switch back here, I'm a pretty high IQ person. So for me, that's a lot of the question. I was like, how do I turn it off? And they had to teach me that, because when you're a high IQ person, you understand how lots of things work. So when you can't do something, it's
frustrating.
Yes, dude. Like I said, I'd be in the driveway and I'd be like, just go inside. And that switch would go out there. So it was this weird battle in my brain. And they taught me this thing called playing the tape through. And that is what I do now. It used to be impulse, right? I'd be like, there would be no tape. I'd be like, Coke, crack, whatever it is makes me feel good, and that'll be great. But a month later, I had to sell everything out of my house. I had ruined relationships. My family isn't talking to me, and I did that correctly on the way out this time. If I ever had, right? Because now I rarely have an impulse. I just explained that to you. But when you first get out, you have an impulse every day. I want booze. I want drugs. And I would just play the tape through. I'm going to lose Sierra. I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose this job. I'm going to lose everything I've saved up. I'm going to sell everything in my house. But I'd done that multiple times. So I knew it was I knew it was true. And then you'd play that tape through and then you'd play the crack tape through. I could go smoke crack. I'm going to lose everything, but I'll feel good for an hour. And then I'm going to feel like shit. So when you play the tape through and there's a good light at the end of the tunnel, that one is easier to choose than the shitty impulse impulse drug use.
And have you taken what you learned through that and applied it to anything else in your life?
Yeah, everything.
How so?
Accountability is the very...
What up, y'all? I know I'm interrupting the conversation. I apologize, but I do need to quickly talk to you about Redmond Real Salt. I've been using this salt for a couple of years. I cook with this every single day. It is my absolute favorite salt in the entire world. And you now, as a What's Up Brodey listener, you can get 15% off by using the code Brodey, or on my Instagram in the bio, you can follow that link to checkout. You'll get 15% off as well. Now, back to the conversation.
First thing you realize that will make you happy. So I love explaining this to people. This is one of my favorite things to explain to people in the world. You first must choose yourself, and you have to love yourself to be successful in the world. That's way easier said than done. And if I believe lots of people do love themselves, I think it's really easy to tell when someone doesn't love themselves, even if they tell you they do. But the very first thing is you got to love yourself and treat yourself right. And that's why we say that being sober is a real selfish thing. So at first it is very selfish. You have to love yourself. And in order to do that, you have to just do everything for yourself in a positive manner, right? And if you're doing things in a positive manner, selfishly for yourself, by the end of it, by proxy, you'll start doing things selfless for others. Mm-hmm. And that's an amazing thing. And that's how you can do it with longevity. So I did that. I started to love myself. I was good being alone, which I used to not be good being alone. And that doesn't mean, like, I had my wife at the time. We weren't married yet, but alone can be alone with your own thoughts, whatever it may be, right? And I was finally able to be okay with my own thoughts. So doing that, and you learn accountability, you can be very successful through everything with it. So acceptance and accountability. You have to accept all the things that are happening all the time and try not to blame others. And then moving on, forward advancement, acceptance, accountability, forward advancement. Failure is always going to happen, but you move forward. Some people get stuck in all these ways, right? Which is why we love jiu-jitsu. It's why I love skateboarding. It's why I was a professional snowboarder. All three of those sports are like 99% fail, 1% success, right? But yes, accountability and acceptance and forward press always. Always evolve. Realize that you are never the same person you were a minute ago, and accept everything that has happened to you with humility and move forward. I like to talk, so talk about that stuff. If I hear it out loud, I can work through it much better.
That's fascinating. Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because that's been a common theme across some of the episodes recently. We've been talking about, obviously, accountability. I think the lack of accountability in society is what is largely driving a lot of issues.
Absolutely.
And to that point, Matthew McConaughey said something very similar to what you just said. In a way, he was talking about how doing good things for others is inherently a selfish act, and it's okay to be selfish because it does make you feel good. But in turn, then you are being selfless, right? And we should inspire to be more selfish. And a lot of people think it's the other way around, but I talk about this a lot, where it's like, I can't be the best spouse, the best father, the best person in my community unless I'm the best version of myself. I have to train. I have to take care of my own self, and then I can then take care of everybody else. But there's a lot of people who don't take care of themselves and try to take care of others, and they don't realize that it is more of a detriment than if it's the other way around.
That's correct.
And if everybody chose themselves and chose to be excellent, everybody would be fucking excellent.
It would be a wild place, wouldn't it?
It's interesting. This is something that Andy Frisella talks about a lot. He talks about how personal excellence is the ultimate form of rebellion. He's like, if we want to fix the world, you first have to be excellent. You yourself, you have to strive to be great. And if you're not striving to be great, then the bar around you is also low, and then people around you will also be low. And if you're not pushing everyone around you to come to a higher bar and showing them that a higher bar is possible, then no one will achieve it. And then now you have a circle of people who are affected negatively, and then that just continues to spread.
That's great. Yeah, the 5 people you surround yourself thing with is super real too, right? You find yourself, when you are working on yourself, you find, again, by proxy, that you just start putting yourself around people that are doing stuff like that. Yeah. The jiu-jitsu world is a great example of that. You might have somebody broken entering the jiu-jitsu world, but if they stuck around, they healed somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Because you can't get your ass kicked by fucking savages for an hour every day and not figure out who you are. But we're going to bring you up anyway, because we do kick each other's asses, but we also want to teach each other and push each other up and make each other better and listen to one another. You know this because you're in jiu-jitsu. Like, you can train for an hour and then you sit on the side of the mat for another hour just talking. It starts with jiu-jitsu and then it's life.
Yeah. She yells at me all the time about that. Yeah. She'll tell you, like, we can't go anywhere without me knowing somebody. I ran into somebody yesterday at HEB. Fuck, I don't remember who it was now. That's also the other issue.
That's the big Adam. I'm like, hey.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, I train at House. Previous to that, I trained at John's, and then I've trained at 10th Planet for over a year. And so I would go to all the open mats and would go to class. I would go to 10th Planet 3 or 4 times a week. And so 10th Planet has so many members. There's so many fucking people.
Dude,
and then the open mat
coach.
Oh, I can't imagine, dog. And then the open mats on the weekend are 100 people deep. And so I would go there and I would meet all these people from various different schools, or they would go to 10th Planet, and then I meet people at House, and then I know people from John's, and then I know people from striking, and then I know people from jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, fuck, there's a lot of people.
Also, we're in the Mecca. I mean, San Diego and Austin, maybe they're tied, but either way, we're in a mecca of martial arts right now. And it's mainly jiu-jitsu and striking.
And it's fucking fantastic.
And everybody likes each other.
It's so great.
It's crazy.
Yeah. How much do you think, like the comedy scene has helped, or vice versa, the jiu-jitsu scene here in Austin has helped grow that community side of things? Because it's something that Joe Rogan talks about a lot, how it wasn't always like that, where people cross-training was not openly accepted for a long time. That's a very recent thing, and I still think that's only that's like a lot of a Austin thing.
So I'm a black belt under Curtis Hemroff. Shout out Curtis. It's one of my favorite dudes on the whole planet. He's my brother. But so day one of jiu-jitsu, I come in I'm day one. I think I wore some swim trunks and like a Under Armour compression shirt. Right?
Sounds about right.
So like, let's say day 3, I'm excited now. I order a Fuji rash guard. I'm Adam Fujawa. Everybody calls me Fuji. Instagram handle is Fujitsu. So it's a black belt rash guard. So secondly, our school 9 years ago was all white. Chris and them got their blue belt the week I started. So his first blue belt's my week 1. So it's a beginner school because it's brand new. Yep. So I come in this black belt rash guard and I don't know it, but Curtis was like, I don't care what color rash guard you wear. We don't care. We respect our ranks here, but we don't care what you look like, what you're wearing. We're not doing the old school traditional style. Do I want you at my school? Yes. I want you to be a member at my school, but you also please go train in other schools that do best for you. He's like, we're sister schools with Jean-Jacques. They train in the gi, but Jean-Jacques is our grandfather, right? Eddie is our master. And he's like, but you can go, we go to Val. We would go up to Cooper. Cooper's used to be huge. Cooper's was savage on Sundays. Yep. Tim Kennedy in there, 8 black belts in there, Ivan from Val in there. But I mean, just the Tackett boys in there whooping on you. So that's one of the most amazing things here is that everybody is like that. And you will see people at the grocery store and hug each other from other schools, and you will be at each other's schools. But it makes us all so much better.
Yeah. It was a buddy. I was at Round Rock Donuts yesterday. Ran into a old training partner. His name is David. That's who it was. Yeah, and fucking everywhere. And that is the coolest part about jiu-jitsu, because you have people in there. 90% of them are not trying to do it professionally. They're doing it for one reason or another, mostly from a mental aspect. A physical aspect definitely helps and is tagged along. But quickly you learn that it is way healthier for your mind than it is for your body. You start to learn that very quickly.
You learn that.
You learn that very quickly. But I tell people all the time, I'm like, dude, it's so much easier to fix your body than fix your mind. And if you can keep your mind sharp your entire life, you're so much more likely to achieve things and to do things and to enjoy what you do and enjoy life versus the opposite.
I mean, my wife and I talk about this all the time, right? Puzzle solving in the morning, reading. I don't want to ever have dementia or Alzheimer's, dude.
It's fucking awful.
We're bad. Puzzle solving so much in jiu-jitsu that I'm like, dude, my mind has got to stay sharp for the rest of my life because we're puzzle solving so much.
Yeah, it is. You're playing chess with dire consequences.
With dire consequences.
For round after round after round, especially 20-round Tuesdays, a fucking open mat where you're hitting 15 to 20 rounds. Dude, you're wiped afterwards, but you feel better than you ever could. You can't explain it. That feeling afterwards is nuts.
What did I read the other day? That we are actually in like a oxygen deficiency or maybe white blood cell deficiency when we do jiu-jitsu. Don't quote me on those. We are in a deficiency blood or oxygen wise in jiu-jitsu that is usually detrimental to other people. But we're in that place so much that it's better for us. Like like have you ever read about because we get strangled so much, how much stronger our arteries are working and sending blood flow to our brains because we have to make sure.
The choking helps your brain more than could potentially offer neuroprotective benefits. Studies indicate BJJ athletes show elevated cerebral blood flow because of it.
That's crazy.
I've actually heard about this.
So they believe that getting choked out is actually potentially better for neuroprotect. That's the greatest ad for jiu-jitsu of all time. Why is that not blasted all over?
It is blasted off. It is blasted off.
That should be every gym's ad.
Lately, that has been going on.
That is interesting. Lower risk than striking. Yeah, we get that for sure.
When you release the blood, I think it's like the rush of blood going back to your brain helps open up your capillaries.
Sure.
And so it helps with blood flow because it's widening the veins in your brain.
Wow. That's pretty fascinating.
I do tell people that these days, though, what you were talking about a second ago. They're like, you're in such great shape. Should I start jiu-jitsu? I'm like, do not let it. Does it give you a body? Yes. But everything hurts.
Everything.
My neck hurts. My shoulders hurt. Yeah. My knees hurt. I'm like, which makes sense. They're like, why? I'm like, because we're actively trying to break each other all the time. And when you get good, you start to do it mean to each other, but it's very fun.
So how do you do it? You're 47, dude. And you train what, 4 or 5 days a week?
No. I've cut it way back.
No? Where are you at right now?
3 days a week at most.
Okay.
Definitely Tuesdays always. And then Friday I teach and I always roll on Friday. So I roll 2 days a week. I will drill up to 3 days a week. You just can't but that's the body thing.
Yeah.
That's not cardio. Not that I couldn't, like my body, I want to do this till I'm 70. There's no way. You learn after 45, you have to be different. So I can go hard in rolls. You just have to pick, it's Tuesday and Friday, the only days I can roll.
Got it. Okay. So you roll twice a week.
And I lift 3 times a week.
That's what I was just about
And I do cardio stuff and I'm playing golf. But I was a professional athlete from 13 to 23. Professional snowboarder. So,
where at?
I lived in Aspen, Colorado. I was number 1 amateur in Colorado in my age group at like 14, 15.
And what is this, like, what does that mean? Like what kind of snowboarding? What are you doing?
Freestyle, half pipe, and slope style.
Oh.
So when I found jiu-jitsu.
Is there any videos?
No, I am not in the digital era.
What's your last name?
You can,
Fujawa.
Yeah, if you pull up my Instagram, we have a video of me.
Yeah, we're gonna find it.
Yeah,
she'll find it. She's young.
Taylor. Maybe if you look me up, you might find a video of me snowboarding. Because I put them on Instagram.
How'd you get into snowboarding?
Well, yes, I'm just a fortunate person. So my parents bought that house in '78, the year I was born, and we lived between Pittsburgh and Colorado most of my life. And then 7th grade, they're like, "Do you want to go out to Colorado full time?" I was like, "Yes." And we did that, and like literally that year, I picked up snowboarding, and I was put on this earth to snowboard. I'm very good at snowboarding.
Do you still snowboard?
Yeah, like the picture she'll find, the video is from 2 years ago, and I still do crazy stuff on a snowboard. Yes, so back then there wasn't, like now we have what we call the magic carpet. It's just a conveyor belt like you see at the grocery store, at the one that helps you get through the airport, the flat long conveyor belt. And then they have pommel lifts and tow ropes and lifts that just go through the park. Well, in my day, there was a park, like in my day when I first started.
That's such a sick photo.
That is such a sick photo.
And you can only get that photo from having a heart attack.
This is so funny because Zach brings me, Friday we got our black belts, but the black belts,
that's such a sick rash.
The black belts got sent with knives. So they got caught up in customs. And they didn't get them on time. Our 10th Planet black belts that have Tempe ATX and and then our rash guards with our names on them.
That's so sick.
So Zach was like, all right, Adam had a heart attack. I want to take him his stuff. So now it's on my chart. And every doctor and nurse that comes in, like instead of coming in and looking at me and talking about my heart, they're like, where's your black belt out? Can I touch it? And I was like, dude, am I going to live?
Am I going to live?
So I have 2 Instagrams. If you go to Adam Fuji, you'll see snowboarding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And ATOM. I play on words. There it is. Boom. And so there's Adam snowboarding right there. But if you go to click on the middle right button, or that, right there, you know what we're doing here. And then go down and you'll find a sick.
Wakeboarding?
Dude, I'm good at everything.
Shooting,
if you put me on a board,
skateboarding.
I'm going to do it really well.
So you lift 3 times a week?
Yes.
Adam, I've been preaching this for a long time. Dude. How important is it for you at your age?
The most important.
To lift.
So again, when I started in 2017, It won't run videos?
Dude, Instagram's browser website is fucking trash.
So when I started in 2017, I was 140 to 145 pounds. And
that's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's so fun.
That's so sick.
Big 60-foot jump.
That's so dope.
So I was 145 pounds, and I was that until 2 years ago when I got on TRT. And for the first 7 years of jiu-jitsu, Zach Moore and Luke Perry were like, dude, if you and Curtis would say it often too, like, if you lift, you're gonna be way better. Like, I was technically sound, but like a lot of you guys could overpower me, or I would get tired trying to move people so much. Even though you're technically sound, you're 140 rolling with guys. Everybody seems bigger in jiu-jitsu to me when you're 145 pounds. So
yeah, that's fair.
But I wouldn't lift. Occasionally I would get into it for like a month and I'd be like, this is so dumb.
It's boring.
But when I started the TRT, like, I would get out of the, like, you know, it takes a month for it to kick in. Like, I get out and stretch, and then it'd be like, I'd be like, oh, I just grew my, I was like, I'm gonna start lifting. And then
I'm gonna get jacked.
So I'm lifting like the first 3 months of 90 days of lifting, I'm lifting 3 times a week at an F45.
Yeah.
Every day I walked in the gym, big jack dudes calling Carr, Luke, Curtis would be like, dude, you are looking insane right now. So then I was like, lifting 3 days a week is sick, dude.
So you go to F45 and
I just lift at home now and at Tempe ATX now. I stopped going to F45.
Yeah, okay. You have a gym at the house?
Yep.
What do you
out in the garage.
Okay, what do you typically do?
So at home, I'm just doing pull-ups and mostly at my shoulders because I only have up to 20-pound dumbbells there, and then I have some kettlebells like you do on the porch. So I'll do some. So at home, I usually do back and some shoulder stuff, and then I do Thursday. So that's Monday, and then Thursday and Friday I go to Tempe ATX and I lift heavy everything.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, so I'll do like back arms and just full body stuff. I am not the guy, but I do the stuff properly. Like, I'll snatch up and do overheads. Power cleans a bunch on Thursday, and then on Friday I do chest, back, and legs.
Hell yeah, okay.
So I'll do, I just do the 3 big ones. I do chest, and then I do deadlifts, and then I do heavy squats. And then I'll grab the dumbbells and do some, they have up to like 40-pound dumbbells. I'll do some more chest there, and I'll do lunges holding the 40 pounds across the gym, which
accessory work.
Hate.
Hell yeah. Have you noticed that since you've started lifting, and obviously the TRT helps too, but it's helped with recovery and not your body not hurting as much?
Bad shoulders. Another thing, Luke Perry, like, I'd be like, my shoulders hurt. He'd be like, well, if you lift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I'm just in the garage on Mondays doing 10-pound fucking butterflies, and it feels like 100 pounds. But my shoulders feel so much better right now.
They do.
There's some tinge sometimes still when I do this. I think eating Americanas and Kimuras when you're a white belt and blue belt, the Americanas. We're all doing Americanas when we're white and blue belt, dude. It's like the first thing.
Just tap.
I know. It doesn't hurt that bad. I wish. I know when I tore the labrum in this one. I went to PT for it with Jen Hames, who used to be in the, remember we had the PT place in Tempe? Oh, we used to have an Exos right in there.
Really?
And then she moved over to On It. Well, Exos closed that particular one, and she moved over to On It and does it privately out of On It now. But this MMA fighter came in from England, and he was a beast, but he wasn't that great at jiu-jitsu. And I was like, I'm not tapping to your man. He tore the shit out of me. I got home that night, and I was like, I should have tapped. And that shoulder's been fucked forever now.
Yeah.
But yes, lifting, and I think people have to understand, the sooner you start it, the better. You don't have to be crazy and lift heavy. I think lifting super heavy deteriorates you a little bit if you do it over time, but if you do the proportionate amount, right? Like, I get pretty heavy on certain days because I want to build muscle, but I'm not doing anything crazy. I think it's just so good. Always be moving. Just always be moving. And lifting is one of those. And we're building muscle, and your body likes muscle, dude.
It does. And it protects the joints, the tendons, the ligaments. And that's what we're tearing.
Yes.
You're rarely tearing, or you're rarely breaking a bone. Like, it definitely can happen, right? But you're tearing the ligaments, you're tearing the tendons. And if you don't lift, they're just going to do it.
If you don't think we're micro tearing just in the drilling, like, if we're drilling heel hooks, you don't think you're just micro tearing each other's knees all day long? You're crazy.
Dude, fucking leg locks are so crazy, man. I don't know why we do this to each other.
I don't even fuck with legs anymore. Like, there's too many good. I was good at legs 5 years ago because it was like still it was brand new when I started. They were just starting to get into
Not
it.
everyone.
And I just had a good honey hole entry and a good outside inside heel hook. Now I go to Jacob Norton's Friday class and I'm like, dude, what language are you speaking? These entries are insane.
Yeah.
And now I'm just not messing with these people. I have great defense, just not getting entangled in that.
They've been cross-trained too at Kingsway, and so I bet their leg locking game is just going up and up and up.
Sears and Norton's IQs for jiu-jitsu are already so high, so 10P and Kingsway is insane.
That's an incredible dynamic, because I feel like 10P is very much known for like unorthodox, like very fun and creative jiu-jitsu, and then you add in the systematic, like pinpoint precision of Gordon and John Danaher, and you put those two together.
Savage.
It's pretty fucking sick.
I'm excited to see what Sears does as a black belt.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It was cool to watch her win Worlds. Yeah.
When she was our first world champion at purple belt, but we had never had an IBJJF world champion. I was at my mom's house when she won purple belt, just running around the house screaming. I had it on TV. I was like, this is great. Yeah. And then it took her a year to win at brown belt. She had maybe 2. She maybe went twice as brown belt.
Yeah.
But I was so happy to see her run the gauntlet this year.
Yep. And then get your black belt on the podium.
100%.
After winning Worlds. It's
with
so cool,
Eddie there,
dude.
deserved. 100%.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's fucking
That's
sick.
the dream right there.
Yeah.
Get your black belt at #1 podium at the Worlds.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm doing IBJJF this month.
I know. You got what? It's 2 weeks? It's the 26th?
I drew a 5th degree black belt. It's my first black belt debut.
I love it. Are you also doing gi?
No, I thought about it.
That would have been fun.
Dude, you learn at like purple belt. I remember going to Paragon and I was tearing through a bunch of people up to purple belt. And then the black belts saw that and they're like, the browns and the blacks came over and were like, roll with me. And that's when you learn how important not getting your guard passed in gi is. No gi, you get past it, you're fine. You might throw up you might shrimp out of there. You might ghost on them. Yep. You might throw up a goddamn buggy choke. Yep. You get past in the gi, the big black belts or any brown belt just hold you there until you're exhausted, and then they can take one finger with your arm and be like, thanks for the arm bar. Dude.
The gi is completely different. You know who Amanda Canuto is?
Yes.
Jaime Canuto's wife?
Yes.
So Jaime Canuto came in and taught at House when one of the boys were out of town. And Amanda was there. And so I had rolled with Jaime, and Jaime was like, hey, go roll with Amanda, please. So I guess he appreciated the way that I roll, whatever. And he was like, hey, go roll with Amanda. Dude, Amanda fucked my life up. 110 pounds soaking wet. This is in the gi. Dude, she legitimately pinned me to the earth, where I was like, even if I wanted to right now, there's no way I'm getting out of here.
It's so crazy.
She was I think she was the most technical roll I've ever had. It was rough. It was 6 minutes of her fucking my life up. Dude. At 110 pounds. That was a car ride home with no sound.
Whenever I go to Paragon, that's how I leave that place. Because there's always like 8 black belts on the mat at that place. And they're all on the gi. And I'm like, dude, why? You guys can just keep me in a place like
there's
that?
There's no luck in gi.
And it hurts the whole time? You're just holding me there and it hurts?
Yeah, there's no luck in gi.
Dude, it's exhausting.
Mm-hmm. No gi, there's a little bit of luck. There's a little bit of being sweaty. There's a little bit of just being athletic, being quicker.
Yes.
In gi,
strength and athleticism doesn't matter sometimes.
Hardly.
Curtis told me last year, so we got our black belts in December, but a month before that I was a brown belt, and he's like, you should come out to Worlds this year. And I was like, dude, you can't tell me like a month before. He's like, no, but you should go this year because it's gonna be really hard at black belt. And I was like, okay, I'm not like I'm getting a black belt anytime soon. I was like, I'll go next year. Now I'm a black belt. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, honestly, at my age, I got to go up against Megatron or something next year, dude, at Masters 4.
Dude, my old coach competes against Megatron every year now. Every year. That's terrible.
Dude,
he is unbelievably jacked in his 60s.
He's on the bomba, dude.
Dude, I don't care.
He's probably just on TRT these days.
I mean, dude, he is shredded.
He's very good at jiu-jitsu, too.
And when
He's been doing it since he was a child.
I know. And when those two things meet, I mean, how the fuck does he? Like,
does he have a core belt?
Yes.
He's got to.
Yes,
have
he
a
does.
core belt.
Yes, he does.
100%.
Core belt is what, 7th degree, 6th degree?
Or it's got to be farther.
And it's every 3 years, and then it turns into every 5
I imagine
years.
it's after the 10th degree or something. They're
It's
like, listen,
something.
we're done giving you degrees. You're a core belt now. But there's one after core belt they're giving out now, too.
Yeah, because this is the first time anybody's gotten that far.
Yeah.
I think one of the Gracies just got the furthest or the most amount of stripes. She might be able to find it. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
You're gonna have to be more descriptive of a Gracie.
no, it's just who has
Belt above coral and who has one?
Yeah, that and like who has the highest degree of black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yes, that is the question right there.
Yeah, I mean it's nuts, dude.
Is it like Curtis? You've rolled with Curtis.
I haven't.
Oh, well, it's not fun.
Curtis wasn't around as much when I was there. Yeah.
Gabe, yes. Curtis sucks to roll with. It sucks.
I've heard he's pretty miserable.
He's 100% a wizard. Like one of those untouchable, very good, high IQ wizards.
10th degree.
Red belt, yeah, the red belt. It is 10th and 9th. You're right, after 7th. Red and white core belts at 7th and 8th. That's crazy. I mean, that is a long time.
That's a long time, dude. I mean, imagine rolling for that long. How do you do it?
Dude,
It's got to be the gi.
how is John Jock able to walk around still, dude? Like, how is Megaton still able to walk, dude?
It's got to be the gi. Because the gi is definitely lower impact overall.
I think you eventually just know how to roll. I think blue and white belt is where you fuck your body up, dude.
Probably.
You don't know how
Not
to roll
tapping.
properly. You don't tap right. You're rolling on your neck, and you're just moving the wrong way.
Dude,
But Curtis, like this year at Worlds, he got like an 8th degree, and he was like, the guy had me in a triangle clamp. Didn't even have him in a triangle, and Curtis said he couldn't move. I was like, you couldn't move? He's like, I couldn't move. I was like, damn, that's crazy, dude.
there's levels.
People can just a triangle clamp. You know what I'm saying? Like not even a triangle. Like it's clamped down. It's like just down your spine
ankles,
a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, crossed ankles, not locked into your goddamn.
Imagine that squeeze, that down curl had to been nuts, dude.
And Curtis is like 200 pounds jack. Like he couldn't just posture up a little bit. No, couldn't move.
Dude, it's once you hit that level, once you get into black belt, a singular mistake could be very bad. You have to be very, very on point.
You have to be very on point. You start to understand the draws and stalemates a lot more, which is also why it's hard for our sport to grow. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
But as a casual, you don't
dude.
appreciate it.
Gi's hard to watch because of it.
I don't watch much gi, dude.
Yeah.
Gi is hard to watch because of it.
But then you watch, I mean, there are some people like Roberto Jimenez and Adam Warzinski had a match that was fucking incredible.
Marigali throwing lots of good matches.
There's fun. There's people who
They
are
want
fun
kills,
in the gi.
though.
Yeah.
Mr. Machi in the gi wants to kill.
Yeah. There's fun people in the gi, but overall, there's a lot of people who are just kind of trying to win.
Gonna be slow, gonna run, gonna hold you.
And they will hold you.
Well, I was a huge hater of the IBJJF. You know, I drank the Kool-Aid my first 3 years all the way up to like purple belt. We are sub only, fuck points. But once you understand jiu-jitsu and get good at it, the points are pretty cool. Like you realize exactly what we're saying. If it's me and another black belt and I get 2 on him,
that's a big deal.
I earned that shit,
Yeah.
bro. It was hard to get those 2.
Yeah.
Believe that.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I was, dude, one of, I don't know, I think this most recent one, Grappling Industries, that was just a couple of weeks ago, somebody won like 32-5 or something. And I was just like, God damn.
One of the kids was like a 22-0 thing, and I felt so bad for the other kids.
That's
The
rough.
kids don't care, though.
It's rough.
They both were smiling at the end.
I
I was
know.
like, 22, no.
Just happy to be out there.
You guys stop giving points for like mount, got off the side, now back to mount. Why are we doing that,
Yeah.
dude? You can't. People just switch.
They
I
just
want to
go
get
back and
40
forth.
to 0.
Yeah, dude.
Poor
Where,
person that you're fighting is just embarrassed.
Gordon did that one time where he would just take his hooks out and then put his hooks back in.
Yes.
And he was just racking up points on somebody, dude.
Listen, Gordon, one of my I'm pretty over Gordon on the internet, but Gordon in person is a very different person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's what I've heard.
Gordon, not only understanding jiu-jitsu, drilling jiu-jitsu, like the only time he won worlds, he studied IBJJF and he talked about that on Instagram all the time. You can actually reap. You can actually do this. You just can't finish the heel hook, but you're allowed to reap. Like, you can do this. And I was like, dude, that's the other side of it. Like, this guy doesn't just drill all day long and study the game. He also in-depthly knows every rule set.
Very intelligent.
And takes advantage of super intelligent.
Very intelligent.
Takes advantage of the rule set, dude. Like, I'm 100% not reading IBJJF before I go do it, dude.
You're just showing
I'm
up.
not going to heel hook anybody. And I'm not pulling guard, dude.
You can heel hook at black belt.
No, not at my age.
No, oh, really?
Yeah,
They cut it off at an age?
Yeah, Masters 1.
No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They don't want the...
Just fucking y'all.
We're having
ripping each
fun.
other's
We don't
knees
need to be
apart,
breaking
dude.
each other's knees at fucking 50 years old, dude. Curtis got DQ'd last year so he electric chair sweeped.
Yep, I saw this.
And when he put the electric chair on, they're like, "Oh, you just twisted either whichever one they don't like. You can't twist it at IBJJF, right? The spine lock, but I think they said it made a flex on his knee that looked like a reap and tearing his knee. And he's like, but if you take the sweep all the way and you're on top, you can now do the banana split. We just can't do the banana split when we're on our side like a normal,
like an electric chair.
Yeah, exactly.
I use that sweep a lot.
Me too.
I love that fucking sweep.
I'm like, bro, that's my game.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to IBJJF, and I almost likely subconsciously just throw on the electric chair, dude, and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
It's so much fun, no, dude.
Yeah.
And then training at house with Big Dan and Abe and Patrick Guado and them did the shoulder crunch, sumigation.
Where is that school?
In Georgetown.
It's like 15 minutes from here.
So, is he still training at Kingsway with them though too?
Yeah, so they're all still training at Kingsway, but all the instructors at house are Kingsway students.
I've only saw when they did. Well, him and his wife opened it.
John Simus and Bethany, yeah.
Okay.
And then Big Dan teaches, Abe teaches, Andrew, I can't remember his last name now, the Jewish Lightning from Kingsway, and then Patrick Guardo.
So crazy, dude. That's so
crazy.
Austin scene is so
Yeah.
crazy. No, but I'm thinking, isn't there another school that opened from the two-time ADC championship under?
Giancarlo.
Yeah, Giancarlo.
Giancarlo just opened up his school.
Oh, I thought that was House.
No, so that one's Progress.
That's what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
But is Giancarlo still training at Kingsway?
Yes, as far as I know. That I'm not as familiar with.
Yes.
But yeah, he just
Him
opened
and
it.
his wife opened up
That's
that
one.
school.
That one is right up the street. I randomly passed it the other day, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's where that is." So it's pretty close here too.
It's crazy. South and North are just filled with these many schools, but nothing in the middle. There are
I guess you
schools
got
in the
Val
middle.
in the middle.
Yes,
and Black Widow.
Val's North to me.
I would say, well, I mean, shit, this is North. So then when you put this at North, then I would say that's in the middle.
This is real North. Dude.
yeah, compared to 10th Planet, dude.
Georgetown
Val's
is
in the
real
middle,
North
yeah.
too to me.
I still go to Round Rock. I still drop in and go see Joe and them.
I haven't been to the Round Rock School in so long.
Dude,
I went a lot when Manny was up there.
Yeah.
I've never been to Manny's school either. Like, I feel like such a Gabe is always like, come out and train me. I'm like, sir, it is a 55-minute drive to your school.
It's tough, dude. I was making that drive.
I can drive 5 minutes and be at Tempe ATX, and there's 100 people over there that want to kill me.
I know. I was making that drive 4 days a week, dude, for a year. 55 minutes with traffic.
So, like, from my house to here, it's 30 minutes, but it's straight up Mopac. So I'm going 100, and it's literally, I live on Slaughter on Mopac. You live off of Mopac. I mean, it turns into 183, but it's a toll road the whole way.
Yeah.
So I went 100 all the way to your house, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But like, out
no
the
traffic
Bastrop, there's traffic past the airport. There's those lights. It's 2 lanes. And I'm like, dude, this is a savage 55 minutes for me to come out here to get whooped by Gabe Tuttle, who is a fucking wizard.
He's so good.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. His Kimura trap is so beautiful.
His everything is so beautiful. His feet, the dexterity in his feet are like hands, because his pummel game and what he can do with his feet too, like with his float passing and stuff. So he's using his hands while he's float passing, while he's using his feet like hands. And you just can't keep up with that, dude.
Yeah, I remember watching him compete the last time at main character. We were there. And I mean, he just absolutely decimated.
Yeah, that poor guy. We're talking about Gabe has been on in super fights against like Kyle Terra and stuff, dude. Like you could put this guy. When I saw that match, I was like, this guy doesn't know. I was like, this one will be over quick.
Dude, Kamoy's doing his thing, man. He's making jiu-jitsu fun.
Boy, he offered me to invest in that, and I was like, I'm good.
He's making jiu-jitsu fun, though.
Bro, Kamoy's killing it, dog. This next one is insane.
Yeah, we watched Thug Trials 2 last night that Abe and Dan competed on, and dude, the production was so bad. And the commentators were so high.
You watched Wolski versus Roca.
I fell asleep. I'll be honest. I fell asleep.
It
was like 11 o'clock at night, and they were not even. They had just gotten to the.
It's in a different country, isn't it?
No, it was in Michigan. Dog.
Oh, what?
Yeah, bro. It was in Michigan, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Kalamazoo. That's not far from. There. So when you're in South Bend and you're 18, you can go to Kalamazoo and get in your first. Topless bar.
Really?
You only had to be 18 in Kalamazoo, so you drive the hour to Kalamazoo and you go.
Where's Kalamazoo in relations to, I guess, in Michigan? It's the south side?
Yeah. So, yes.
Because my dad was born up there in like Flint, Detroit area.
South Bend, which is northwest. South Bend is northern Indiana. So like my dad's house, you could walk 1,000 yards through the backyard and be in Niles, Michigan. And then it's just another 40 minutes past Niles is Kalamazoo.
Yeah, okay. I'm vaguely familiar up there. I used to live in Maryland.
Where?
In Aberdeen. My dad was stationed there, so we were stationed on the military base.
So closer to Baltimore.
Yeah-ish. Like Baltimore was probably like 2 and some change. Bel Air was about 45 minutes away.
So we had, I guess, I don't know where this would be in relation to Maryland. Well, closer to West Virginia. We had a house in Deep Creek.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a lake house down there. So I was in Maryland a lot of my life too, when I was an East Coast boy.
Yeah, the East Coast is
pretty sick.
It is. I enjoy it. A lot of people don't like the people. I enjoy it. I think it's so much easier.
I like people that are assholes, but they're really nice too.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, "Fuck you, you're making noise." Oh, you need help? Let me help you though. They just come in hard. They come in hard.
They're kind people. They're not nice people. They're kind people. And kindness is more important than niceness. People just think they want niceness, but then you don't. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You don't. That's not what you want. You want people who are kind.
Yes.
Niceness is usually a facade. Usually somewhat fake.
Yes, sure.
Usually like, hey, how you doing? Small talk. And then as soon as the conversation needs to now go to the next level of some kind of connection, it ain't happening.
That's a beautiful thing in the jiu-jitsu community, right? Like we can be the most savage people, but we're almost the first ones not to be. And most people are really kind because we're always sharing with each other.
Yeah.
But right, it's something about being like absolute killers, but not happening to be.
Exactly.
Because once you get really good, you're like, listen.
Exactly.
It's just so laughable.
Exactly.
You just shut your mouth.
There's a reel that's going around right now in regards to the Epstein Files, and it was someone was quoted. It was similar to like an Art of War book, and essentially the quote in a rough paraphrasing was, "Now all we wanted to do was just be left alone. The majority of us just wanted to be left alone. So now the people who you've pissed off, the wrath is going to be different. The people who are now going to rise up together, it's going to be a different type of people. It's not your blue hair people that are out there talking about X, Y, and Z and not, they have no skill to then back it up if they need to take it further. No. The people this is a different group of people that you have now pissed off.
Yeah, and that's truly us, right? We're the ones where it's like, I really just want some land.
And be left the fuck alone.
Yeah. The main thing I've been saying the last, probably year is, I really need to go learn how to field dress and dress a deer.
Yeah.
Because I'm worried if that day ever comes, I have no problem killing it, but, I'm going to waste a lot of stuff if I don't know how to do it right. waste is super important not to have any. Right now, could I waste some? Yes. But in the time of where I'm thinking.
How have you never went hunting with all those people?
Because I love animals so much, dude.
Yeah, but you're surrounded by a bunch of dudes that are very good at this.
Austin York, Gabe, Daniel Dye, like all these people are out there.
All the time.
Hunting all the time. Like all the time.
Yeah.
I love fishing. I've never been good at like peeling skin off fish. That part.
That's valid.
That's the part I'm not very good at.
But if
I don't mind the blood.
If the time came, though, if the time came, you're doing it right. You know what I mean? Like I'll
eat the skin if I have to.
Yeah. It's gonna be a different switch.
Until I figure it out, I'll chew the tough parts.
Dude, I mean, you know some of the greatest people if shit hits the fan.
Yeah, 100%.
10th Planet is filled with very useful men.
Well, our conspiracy theory minds have made us ready forever.
Oh yeah, you got Zach. I mean, speaking of which, Anthony, the guy who runs Ungovernable Project.
Graffio.
Dude, he's been so important these last couple of weeks. I mean, he's just been spot on. He's keeping people educated and keeping people up to date. And it's important. And like you said, like Zach Moore's been on this for a long time. You have a lot of guys. You have a lot of guys in that gym that have definitely been ahead of the curve.
I said something the other day that made me laugh out loud, and it was like in text. I was like, "There's no way 8 years ago you thought Alex Jones and Zach were going to be right about things."
It's true.
Dude,
I posted something similar. I was like, you may think conspiracy theorists wanted to be right. Like they have this like I want to be right complex. And it's the exact opposite. We genuinely wish that we were completely incorrect. Completely incorrect. We wish we were as crazy as people want to say you are.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever wanted right. We're like, it could be though. And you can never count that out.
Yeah. Nobody wants this to be right.
Nobody wants this horribleness to be right. I've been living in those files, by the way. Because I like my favorite thing to do right now is like if I see it on the internet, I'm like totally fake. Then I go to the DOJ site and I'm like, fuck, that's real?
Yeah.
That is so real?
Yeah.
Like, please be a doctor. Now I'm like, please be a doctor thing. Please be AI. And I'm like, fuck, it's real. The terrible ones.
I know.
I immediately cross-search it and then cross-reference and I'm like, fuck, dude, it's real. That's insane.
I know.
And now I just want the government dismantled.
All of it.
I've never been a right or a left guy. I've always been pretty centric.
Yep.
I think that's important.
That's how life. It's how we're supposed to be.
Right. Well, how much better would our government be if it operated that way? Oh, yes, some of the left's ideas are good. Some of the right's ideas are good. We should come together on those. Instead, it's this big war, which makes so much sense these days now. But, you know, if anybody wants to pick a side right now, I'm like, you're lost in the sauce, dude. The only side that should be picked is bring them down and kill these child predators.
It's crazy. There's still people who I know personally on the internet posting gotchas. And it's like, bro, are you paying any sort of attention, or are you just really just enjoy this fact that you are living in this false reality that doesn't exist? Mm-hmm. It's
well, I think that's probably one of the hardest parts for us all right now. Like, is it hard to find out that we all knew this big pedo ring was existing, and is it hard to see that really come to fruition? Yeah, but we all knew it, and that makes no sense, but does make sense. But the hardest part is still now, like somebody the other day was thumping Trump on me so hard, and I was like, bro, it's fake.
Yeah,
like
it's all facade,
they've all been in the back room shaking hands the whole time.
Yeah.
They got you to choose a side. It was perfect. And you chose your side so hard that now you hate your neighbor. I've been saying that for 8 years. I can show you messages to all my friends from 8 years ago. They're like, who are you voting for? I'm like, president doesn't matter. We're a shell company at this point.
It's crazy, bro, because this last election was the first time I ever voted. Because I largely agreed all the way up until the last election. And it felt so important because I don't know that we would have gotten the files the other way around.
I thought about that the other day too.
I don't know that would have happened. I genuinely don't. I don't see that it would have happened because, look, the only reason why half the country even cared about the files, because you got to remember, Stephen Colbert, all these guys were saying that if you believe in any of this, you are an alt-right person, that you were crazy.
Yeah.
Right? He was saying that in 2016, Pizzagate, all of this. He was saying that this is an alt-right conspiracy, right? So the left never cared about any of this. They thought we were fucking batshit crazy. And so had Kamala won, why would they have asked for the file release? They only started asking for the file release when Elon tweeted Trump's in the files.
Yeah.
And so that's when the left started caring
I
about
thought
the
about
files.
this 2 days ago. I was like, would have we gotten them? And somewhere in my head, I think I want to believe that we would have, but you're right. I think the way you're laying it out, I don't know that we would have.
I don't know that we would have. And so
because all the Trumpers would have been going super hard on just fighting.
And they wouldn't have cared.
And she's not in them. So like, why would we?
They wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
Then they would have just continued to protect the Great Wall that they're still protecting, right?
So wildly. Watching Pam Bondi made me so infuriated the other day. I was like, you won't even look these people in the eye.
I have a theory on this. So there's only two reasons why people would do this, right? Self-preservation, or there is, self-preservation and money, right? And power, things like that. Or, I guess they're two of the same, but I've been thinking a lot lately about the Samson Project. Are you familiar?
No.
So so JFK in the 50s wanted to know how many nukes Israel had.
I read about this the other day.
And he also wanted to get rid of AIPAC.
Yes.
Those two things probably led, allegedly, to his death.
Yes.
Right? He wanted to replace AIPAC with FARA.
Also the banks.
We can go. Whew. So my potential theory is, he wanted to know and he wanted to count of how many nukes they had. Nobody knows, but they have something called the Samson Project, where they don't have nukes unless they have to use the nukes, and then you'll find out that they have nukes, which is essentially the gist of it. I might be slightly paraphrasing that, but that's essentially the gist. If Israel goes down, they will launch the nukes. We've always been so terrified of Putin, of China doing this thing, and really it's them. They have and so my theory or my thought on this is like, look, dude, Trump is 78 years old. Why are you still self-preserving? Like, why would you still care that much? Why wouldn't you just out it?
Fucking boomers.
Why wouldn't you out it?
Boomers and money, dude. There's the good old boys up there, whether it's different countries or not. Listen, I love everyone, and I think you can't ever have hate for one particular race, person, thing like that.
Of course.
Religion over a thing, but I think Netanyahu is a very bad man.
He might be the devil.
And I think it's very proven that we're a shell company for Israel.
Yeah.
To me, it just looks like that to me. It looks like this person who had an 8-minute standing ovation in Congress the other day.
Disgusting.
Like,
that was crazy. That was crazy to watch. Even he got weird about it.
He's been here 7 times.
Yeah.
We've had other leaders once. All the other leaders in very important countries as well.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
It is weird.
It's just weird.
And it raises a lot of questions. And so I'm like, man, dude, what if that's what they're holding over them, the Samson Project? Go ahead, cut this funding off. Go ahead.
We'll blow everybody up.
We'll blow everyone up. Because, so I've been thinking about this a lot as well, right? There's obviously been...
What happens to them if they do that?
I don't think they care.
End all be all, fuck it.
So, because I think the people we're talking about, I think and this is the best word that I have found on the internet recently that describes the people who we're describing. It's not the Jewish people. I don't even know that Zionist is even the correct term. The word that I have found recently that better describes this is Canaanites. Are you familiar with Canaanites?
I've seen the word.
So Canaanites are non-Israeli folks who occupy that land. And they believe and worship in Baal and Moloch.
I see a lot of this going on right now.
And so there's potential that they are just intertwined with the Jewish race, with people of Israel, and they are, for the lack of a better term, walking among them.
Yeah.
In a disguise or a guise of the Jewish race or Jewish religion. And they're really worshiping these false gods, these demons.
Yeah.
And they don't believe in an afterlife. And so why would they care about their actions? Why would they care about these actions?
That's weird. I don't believe in God or Satan. I don't believe in any religion. So afterlife to me is fascinating because I think death is just as beautiful as life. I've helped 2 dads die from cancer, and there's something magical in that. And a lot of people have a hard time understanding that. But I think this realm is the heaven, and the beautifulness of it and what you do with it is amazing. And then I have no problem dying and being food for animals and trees and grass and the earth. I think it's all one big recycling machine. So when people say demons and stuff and speak on it as like a god, I think there's good and evil for sure. We know that.
So then how would there be, so what would be on those ends then?
Well, I think there's a buzz in all of it, right? Like you've done sales. You do a big sales and you make a big commission. There's a buzz in that, right? So now think about that on a scale of power and money. So yeah, you start it coming to power and making money. And then there's, well, I know how to manipulate this and make more money and more. And there's a buzz in that. And then you get all this power and there's a buzz in it. And then I think there's fallacies and ego in your ego, right? You've made it that far and you have so much power and money that you think you know everything. And so now you believe you should listen to that German guy in the WHO, what is it called? Hans, when he's talking, the WHO, when he wants to push everything the way he wanted to push it, dude. It was like, whoa, bro. And he was pushing like more Palantir type stuff.
The globalists
and
fucking insane.
Digital ID. Yeah. But those people, they made a lot of money. Are they smart? I don't know. Some of them are definitely smart, but are all of them? No, some of them might just be master manipulator con men.
100%.
And I think the more you con and the more power and money you get, the more of a buzz you get. And then you start believing in yourself and believing the things you're saying. Because I got here and look what I'm doing. Look what I've amassed. So it could be demons and evil. I do, sure. I think it's proven at this point, if we take younger person's blood and intravenously administer it to ourselves, right? Like it's just like, instead of I lost a lot of blood and I got blood donor, I haven't lost any blood, I'm getting a blood donor. We've proven that actually does help you heal. It does help you longevity wise. Diddy?
Since he's went into prison?
Yes, but also you're talking about a billionaire that, I saw that the other day, and can that be true? Yes, because he's a terrible person and some of that stuff. But you also are talking about the elite who have magical people around them left and right, and he's dyeing his hair, and he's got the best, most expensive face stuff, and they're doing all that. And he's seeing doctors. But yeah, is he drinking blood or taking IVs of young person's blood? Yeah. I read things the other day that say, that one dude has come out and said, he paid me a lot of money just to give him my blood. And I was in my 20s and he was in his 40s. Mm-hmm. That to me, on just in my body, my gut makes sense to me. If you put younger blood in me, it's good for me. That makes perfect sense to me.
Well, they've proven that with CRISPR.
That's an oil change, dog. Your car is proving that to you.
That's true. They've proven that with CRISPR. CRISPR has removed old cells and replaced them with new, younger cells, and it has shown to do exactly this.
And everything that we do these days is that we're eating better. Yep. I grew up through the 80s, Twinkies and Ho-Hos.
But they were made so different, though.
People say that too. Different. It was just sugar and not so much
normal ingredients.
My wife brought that up to me the other day, and I didn't think about it. Yeah. But yes, but to my point is that I think the way a lot of us in jiu-jitsu and stuff operate is different. We know to eat cleaner and stay more physically fit. And Klaus Obermeyer is 108, and I think he skis every day still.
That's my great grandma's 104 and lives on her own.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Does she drive still?
She did up until
102.
Yeah.
What, dude? There's no way. If I was with you at Great Grammy's house and she's like, I'm going to the store, I'd be like, Jordan, your grandma cannot fucking drive it. That woman is 102, Jordan. Are you fucking kidding me?
I agree, bro. I can't imagine. She had to have been going like 15 miles per hour anywhere and everywhere. Like, there's just no other way.
Totally legit at 102. But yeah, all that I question, but I like to question everything like that.
But has your opinion changed at all about God and demons and devil over the last couple of weeks? Like, do you feel a different
Zach
feeling?
Moore asked me this yesterday, and he's like, I think we're going to get you to become a Christian. No, because I so strongly believe that I think it's all ego based to ever think there's a heaven. You think so? This place sucks and it's better to be in heaven. That's weird to me. And you got to do all this stuff correctly. I think people fucked sheep way back when, and we had to stop them somehow. And we made a book that said, "Hey, don't." The book is crazy too. I mean, you stone people in it, you kill people for certain things. I just think there were rules, and I think religion is used for control, like many things.
So then what encourages you, or what would make you fight on the side of good then?
Oh, inherently, it feels good to push each other up and want to do good in life. So that's why I'm fighting on the side of good. Like like you've met a bad person. And like I've met some bad people out there, and I'm like, dude, that's weird. Like you're a different, yeah, dude.
Feel it.
You can feel
There's
it.
an energy to it.
And you're like, why do you want to be like that? But if you try to have some empathy in that, something happened to them. Now listen, are sociopaths just born sociopaths? Sure. Yes, lots of them. Yeah. And that's unfortunate. But there's also the people out there that had terrible things that have happened to them, and then later they become terrible people. But there are books out there too about manipulation, and manipulation is crazy. I knew a girl that used to start a fight with anybody just so she could leave places. She'd get in this big fight, and you'd be like, well, you should fucking leave then. She'd be like, I will. And she wanted to leave the whole time. So the fight was the precursor to just be able to leave easier, when really you could have just been like, I don't want to be. Yeah, dude.
Is that like a not wanting to like
hurt somebody, but you got into this crazy fight.
It's so crazy, dude.
Really.
This is something that Joe Rogan has talked about a lot, where he talks about how when he had kids, he started seeing people instead of as Adam Fujawa, that's 47 and an asshole. He thinks of you now as like, oh shit, dude, there was a time where you were a baby. And then now you've gotten to this point, and what happened between baby and here that made you this person at 47? And I think it's a very fascinating way to look at it. But I do also think that there is a little bit of like, look, terrible things happen to a lot of people, and not everybody chooses to still be a terrible person.
We've got some of the greatest people from terrible,
I would say most people
things.
Yeah. Most people who you talk to who are either very successful, very kind people, very hardworking, driven, etc., come from terrible backgrounds.
Yeah.
Do you have kids?
I have no kids.
No
kids.
Never
will. My wife we decided like second date we weren't going to have kids, but she had full hysterectomy somewhere in our 6th year together.
Okay.
She's not even able to have children.
Got it.
Yeah. But second date, she was like, listen, I was 33, she was 34. She was like, what are we doing? Like, we could just fuck, but we're in our 30s and we're looking for that person. I'm going to tell you right now, second date, I don't want kids, because why am I going to get a year down the road and then we talk about kids?
Yeah.
And then we wasted a year when we could be looking for the person that we were trying to settle down with.
What was that decision? What was that decision based on? Or like what made you so
I loved it. I came in today and grabbed your child and started playing with her immediately, right? So she said that. Dude, my parents, I'll tell you, they loved me and they were so amazing, but both my mom and dad, biological father, Gary, were both alcoholics, and they weren't always nice. So there was trauma in my life as a child. And so their impatience in parenting, I believed I would have. I believed at 5 a.m, if the child woke me up, I'd be like, shut the fuck up, baby. I am tired. And I didn't want to be that guy. So I do awareness of who I am. I know when I'm tired, I'm going to be a jerk, and a child doesn't deserve that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a jerk to somebody when I don't have to be. I know that I can be slightly lazy at times, and I don't want to be lazy as a parent.
That's interesting. That's a good...
I mean, that's a huge... You're molding somebody into something.
Yeah.
I put a lot of pressure on myself with stuff, so I'd be upset if they ended up... I was a drug addict, so much addiction in my family. I was like, I'm just bringing you into fucking the gnarliest path, dog.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fascinating perspective. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You didn't ever think that maybe you could be the one to break the cycle?
Yes, absolutely. I have no regret on not having children. I'm never like, God. Now that I'm 47 and I started in my 30s deciding I didn't want children. It hasn't been like I wish I would have had one.
Sure.
Are there thoughts of sometimes now that I've helped two parents through death that like, well, hopefully I'm not the last one alive between my wife and I. We both say that all the time, like, oh, if I die first, fuck, because we're going to be alone. I'll have some nieces and nephews that'll come see me for sure, but nothing like you would if you have a child. Your child will, that was the magical thing. Like, you know, my dad's died of cancer and that angers you and upsets you for like a week. But then the next 6 months to a year, you get to do what they did for you your whole life. You get to give back to them. And in that, you get to tell them how important they are and like show them. You get to really look at all the things that happened in my life and talk about it with them. And tears come and smiles come and good goodbyes come and lots of love comes. So it's magical. Is it hard to see someone die from a terrible thing like cancer? Yes, but the magic inside of it is way easier than my mom who died. I was with her for 4 days. I come home a day later, like, your mom had a massive heart attack. She's dead. You're like, what? No, she's 69. Like, oh, I didn't get to say goodbye. Like, well, I for sure was going to see her again in a month. Oh, man, I got to see these two guys for 6 months and a year, and we got to talk about everything, life, and everything they want me to do after they're gone. And that's the part of why I'm sober as well still. Like, a lot of that is like, I could fuck up, but how is that for keeping my lineage of my parents and how my life being positive for people if I go back to drugs? Like, my dads would be upset. My mom would be upset.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you, was there ever a time, like, did you ever, like, when did you realize that you had this mindset? Because as you mentioned earlier, even when doing drugs, there was you had that switch where you were like, I don't want to do this so much. So you've always been very conscious.
Oh yeah, a weird thing in my drug use. So in Indiana, my drug use here got really scary because I was in a profession where I was making a lot of money, and I would go out like 3 days in a row, once a month with like $3,000. And get a lot of cocaine. And it was once a month, like binge use. And I was like, oh, this is how you die. Whereas in Indiana for 8 years, I had never lived in Indiana except in the summer until I was up to 18 years old, right? And then I didn't have to go visit my dad unless I wanted to. And so I flunked out. I went to college late, 23 years old. I flunked out and I called my dad in Indiana. I was like, can I come work for you? And he's like, yes, construction, $26 an hour in 2002 or something. And I was like, well, that's a lot of money. Yeah. Indiana is 9 months of winter and it's dark and it's cold and it's flat. It's not beautiful Colorado where you can snowboard. And I was like, there's a lot of bars in Indiana and people are always in like Budweiser and Miller jackets. I was like, that's weird to me. And then you live there and you're like, yeah, this place is depressing. Like, people are drinking and doing drugs here a lot because there's 9 months of the year. It's dark and cold. And like, what else are you going to do? It's a kind of a poor state. And like, so, in my drug use during that, I remember I used to be pretty accountable in my drug use. If I wanted, I would not, drinking would lead to my drug use, so I'm an alcoholic. But once I started using drugs, like if I went out and had a couple beers and then got an 8-ball Coke, then I just went to Coke for the next 4 days. I never drank alcohol. I wanted all my money to go to cocaine. So, you know, I'd have girls with me that would be partying and they'd be like, we can't get cigarettes, we can't get food. And I'd be like, I'm perfectly fine with that. I knew 3 days ago when I had $100 that I was spending it all on cocaine and that's Monday, that on Friday when I'm out of money, that I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to be hungry and I'm not going to have cigarettes. And they'd be crying. I'd be like, you don't get to cry over these decisions. Like, we made these decisions. We have no food. I'm like, you did it to yourself, right? That's when you learn accountability. You're like, you don't get to cry over that. You did it to yourself. That's an idiot. Wow. But a long time ago, I learned that I wanted to persevere and be kind and be a strong person because I was kind of a wimpy person until I was 13. Like at our lake house, my brother at 6 years old was right behind the boat skiing. I was scared to ski behind the boat. I was scared to go on roller coasters till I was like 13. But my dad, Kenny, who we lived with most of the time. Like, we would go see Gary every other Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every Easter, and all the summer, right? Biological father, Gary, and then my stepdad, they're both my dads. They're both like my blood dads. But Kenny was a fearless motorcycler, skier, and so he did lots of fearless stuff that eventually caught up. But he was a very kind man. He never raised his voice to me in the 38 years I knew him. Never raised his voice to me. That's crazy as a parent. to have that much discipline to not just talk to your children. Did he show me disappointment? Yes, but he never did it through anger, which is crazy. The only time I hear him scream is at Steelers. Oh yeah, Steelers! But I tell that to people. I don't know if people take that in. Like, I'm not kidding. He never raised his voice to me. He was just a loving, amazing, very smart man. Very smart. Engineer, went to Brown, went to Lawrenceville. But crazy, he loved cocaine. He quit cocaine when I was in 3rd grade. But he was like a daily user. He would do like a gram a daily and function. But he quit in 3rd grade, and he smoked a pipe for the next year, and then he quit that, and then he'd have a beer occasionally the rest of his life. And I stay sober kind of like him. He never went to AA or anything. We just made a choice, and we're sticking to that choice because we know we operate better that way, and life is much better that way. But he was super kind, and that's just where he was super driven. My dad, Gary, super driven, amazing athlete. My uncle, the 88-year-old I spoke of, was going to be a QB for the Bears, but at the time, he made more money in construction. It was in the 50s. He was born in the 30s. Wow. Yeah. So my drive from all that to be good to people is, even though my parents were crazy, they all 3 were lovers. My grandparents were lovers. And inherently everybody has been pretty driven. And when they decide to do something, they're going to see it all the way through. And we don't mind failure. I'm the type of guy that if you beat me in a game, I'll play you 100 times until I can start beating you. But I have no problem losing, and I'll continue to keep playing. Losing is just as fun to me as winning because I'm learning. That's all I ever really want to do is learn. Yeah. Can I turn it on and be a prick and fight and fuck you up and be mean if I have to? Yes, but I can turn it on. And 99% of the time, I don't have to because you can verbally. My dad, Gary, used to say, my dad, Gary, was kind of a mean man sometimes. My brother and my mother saw the worst of that. But when it came to me, my brother was like Gary. So, he'd throw a phone at him and he'd be like, fuck you. When Gary came to me, I'd be like, whoa, we can do that. You can lose your shit on me. He's like, we can sit down and we can just talk this out. And he'd be ready to, his fist would be balled up. But he would sit down. He used to bring that up to me. And he'd be like, I don't know how you do it, but you can sit me down and calm me down. Now, he would be irate and screaming still, but he wouldn't beat on me. And he would also come out of it faster. And I think a lot of people challenge the challenge, right? If you're getting challenged, your ego says, I have to fucking fight back right now. I have no problem being like, dude, okay, weirdo. Yeah. We can talk about it, but if you're unable to talk, I can just walk away. I can throttle you in the face, probably win, but I don't want to do that either.
Was that from like learning the box at a very young age and just kind of having that confidence, or is it
I think it's luck too. I just love things. I have really bad ADHD, so maybe I hyper focused on, I'm the type of guy that can watch movies that make me cry and I cry. But then I can laugh and be and then I can go break your arm in jiu-jitsu in 20 minutes. I can come in wiping the tears away and be like, oh, now I'm going to kill you. And I want to kill you. I said this, I did a seminar at Tempe Airlock the other day, and they're like, why do you like jiu-jitsu? I was like, well, I like violence. You have to like violence if you're in jiu-jitsu. I like violence. I think violence is sick. I like watching things get destroyed. I like watching animals eat other animals. Those people crack me up when they're like, that fucking lion ate that zebra. I'm like, bitch, that is how it works.
That's an interesting way to put that, because if you had asked me maybe 5 seconds ago, I would have been like, I don't really like violence. I'll watch animals fuck each other up all the time though. I like being capable of it.
Correct.
And so it's interesting, that perspective that you have, because I'm curious if you run into this issue. Like, I'm very nice. I'm very kind. And people will then mistake that as like, you won't fuck them up.
Correct.
And so then people start to kind of like push the buttons or push the lines. How do you navigate those boundaries and keep those, I guess keep those in line? Or
another thing I'm pretty blessed with is that, and this is absolutely by trial and error. I have been taken advantage of. Plenty. And so I'm pretty good at reading people now. I've been in hospitality forever, and I love people. People fascinate me. I remember I wanted to do like guerrilla animal husbandry, and my dad Kenny was like, I love that for you. Those guys get killed a lot in Uganda. The white people that go there to study the gorillas, it's not he's like, I love that for you. I'll push you in that direction. If that's what you do, I just want to give you some information. These people die over there, right? So, I've been through trial and error, but I read people pretty well. I've always been fascinated by people, and I think the gorilla thing stems from that too. They're pretty similar to people, right? But I'm fascinated by people, so I read them well. But yes, I use a voice that's pretty friendly most of the time. And when it's real, the voice change I have scares people a lot. And I'm sure the look in my eye is different. And they're like, because I love a challenge. So like, if it's like nose to nose, like I think people can tell, like we all can tell, like, you know, if this hand twitched a little bit and moved backwards, I'm like, oh, you just retreated a little. I'm not retreating. I'm the guy, when you try to make me flinch, I'm like, yeah. I want it. Could bring that shit. Yeah. Even if you hit me in the face, it kind of feels. That's what you learn. That's when you know if you're a fighter or not. You ever been in a good fist fight?
Yeah.
Not just Muay Thai, good fist fight. The first time somebody slams you in the face, you're like, that shit don't hurt that bad. Holy fuck, I thought it was gonna be way worse than that. I kind of liked it.
It's true. It is true. Yeah, it's interesting because I definitely have the look where people are like, oh, my bad. And so that those two things have definitely kept me out of having to ever flip that switch, like between reading people very well. I'm also very interested in people, obviously. And so I'm very curious, and I read people. I waited tables for 5 years and then did sales for, you know, the rest of the time. And so I love reading people. I think people are we talk about it all the time. When you're driving, you can tell when someone's gonna merge, or someone's gonna turn, or someone's about to do something that they have not signaled yet. People are fairly predictable. 100%. And I think that is a part of my frustration with the United States right now, because as your point earlier, like when it came out, like, yeah, we already knew this. And so you're seeing people who are still having troubles kind of accepting what's happening.
Mind-blowing.
Right? And you're like, this is human nature 101. This is pretty like, it's pretty obvious.
That's one of the other things I'm sure you see and they're talking about, is that by releasing the files and giving most normal people so much trauma that they move on pretty quick because it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I refuse to let some people move on. Like, there's people who I refuse to let some people move on, because there's definitely people who are trying to ignore it. Like, it's just going to go away. And that's not the case. And I know people who are parents who are ignoring it, and like, it's just going to go away. And I'm like, this is the line. Regardless, two people sitting here, right? I'm not a religious person, but I would say I believe in God. And there's someone sitting here who doesn't believe in God. And we've both have made a decision that this is the line. And so when people haven't made that decision, I'm like, what are you waiting for? If we go past this, right? If we go past this and nothing happens and the people don't do nothing,
I'll lose it's going to fuck my brain up, dude.
Because nothing matters.
That's what's going to fuck me up.
Nothing would matter. Nothing. And so what's the point of living at that point? Especially for especially for you, if afterlife is not what that's not what you're striving for, right? You're striving for life on earth.
Yes.
And so, this is an interesting perspective then. If that's your belief system and that's what you're striving for, if we cross this line and nothing happens, then your actual world is potentially shattered, because nothing would then matter on this planet.
And that is my main problem with it all right now, though, is so if Trump never touched a child, fine. But him and Pam Bondi are protecting the most sinister of acts right now. Like crazy, sinister, evil acts. And yes, exactly what you're saying. It does abruptly turn my world around, which is why I just got so passionate in telling you, if nothing happens right now, it's really going to fuck me up, because I'm like, wow, we just know. And everybody's like, it's easier to live. It's easier to stay in my little bubble and just ignore the most sinister act that's crazy by people in charge that are running your shit.
That you're paying.
that you're paying taxes to have pedophiles.
We're paying them.
So, yeah, but let me clarify the God thing then, too. Because, Zach Moore and I talk about this a lot over the last 8 years. And it's pretty good because, right, sometimes I'm like, Zach, you careful of the line you're walking. I know you are not a hateful person, but it can look hateful sometimes. He's like, I'm not a hateful person. I'm like, I know you're not. I love you, and I can tell you're a lover. Because I'm saying our internet fallacies can sometimes, the way we post things, people in this world will immediately be like, you believe this, you believe that, you hate this, you love that, sure. Right? So, but the discussions that happen from it have always been good. And so God can be tricky. If I were to explain you deeper on how I see it, because I believe in the universe, and I believe, right, I already expressed that. I believe in going back to the earth, but I do believe in all those things, and I do believe in talking to the universe. I think manifesting things is very real.
Karma
is definitely real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so and that is similar to what many people say when they believe in God. And I have no problem with people believing in God. I have a real problem with religion. I have a real problem with the Bible. I don't want to believe in a book that 800 other people, or however many it is, thousands of people wrote, and it's not just coming straight from Jesus.
We've talked about, yeah.
And then religion, for me, it's just so clear as day. So there's hundreds of them, and they all fight each other.
Yeah.
Believing in a God, and there can only be one, but there's many different ones.
Yeah.
Right? So like if you want to say you believe in God and you're a good, kind, decent person, then yes, I agree with you and you believe in God. And that's a very different thing than the religious Bible God, who most of those people are the fucking worst people I've ever met.
That's an interesting perspective. I would largely, I would say that I probably have felt very similar in that regard. Again, not part of like any organized religion, but there has been a weird pull these last couple of weeks to God. Like, and it's because it's very apparent right now that this is good versus evil. This is not a political issue. This is nothing outside of its simplest form of the most evil, heinous, disgusting people to walk the earth versus the rest of us.
And we're not doing anything.
It's crazy, right?
We have a lady talking about the Tao. And won't look these people in the eyes.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time with all of that because historically right now, when's the last time we punished somebody congressionally? Fucking homeboy that sold the missiles that now says we should never sell missiles to Iran. Like, sir, you are the one. What was his name?
I don't know.
Bald fucking general from our army selling missiles to Iran. I can't remember his name. But anyway, that's a problem I have. Congressionally lately, Senate hearings, congressional hearings, whenever you see it, it's such a good show. Berate Republicans, berate Democrats. Democrats berate Republicans. Yeah. Oh my God, look at this. Well, who got arrested in it?
I have a
no one. No one.
I have a theory on this. They've created a godless society.
Yeah.
So what does being under oath mean? I don't know if you recently saw just this week the Minnesota Attorney General.
Yeah.
He was being grilled by Senator Haley, and he's Hawley. Yeah, Hawley. And he's saying, dude, why are you letting this fraud happen in your state? Why did you take 10 grand to protect these people? Why did you do that? And the Attorney General is clearly lying. They have the quotes. There's a 54-minute recording of him saying that he helped these people. He's in Congress under oath, and Hawley keeps reminding him of that. He's like, you are under oath right now. And he continues to lie, but he doesn't get arrested.
Doesn't care. Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. If we've created a godless society where there's no consequences, where there's no accountability, where there's no reactions to bad actions, why how does the oath matter? Like, why does it matter? Why does it matter that you even swear them in? Why does any of this matter? And that goes back, that's what's been fucking me up as well, is because then what the fuck matters?
But it never did. That's the thing. Like, my entire life, when you put your hand on the Bible, always made me laugh. I was like, oh yeah, that'll stop him from, because you know, when he lies, he'll start burning up.
Yeah.
No, you don't burn up.
Because it's us who have to hold them accountable.
My favorite thing about like my whole, and believe me, like, do I fight with myself about God? Yes, but a long time ago, I decided the way I interpret God is that he gave us free will. They gave us free will, because who knows? It's more probably not a he or she. It's probably a thing. It's probably some
Entity.
Yeah. It's not a they them. That's for sure. But here's how I see it. They gave you free will, and this is I've always been fine in my beliefs, because I feel like if they become real, when I get to that place, I don't think there's a heaven still. I think you get your little chat with that thing, and they go, hey, you fought crazy battles. It's not the road I would take, and how I think what my idea is perceived. I want you to inherently be as best you can be, but we all know that's impossible. You did things that were wild, but you always were trying to be kind through that. Was there always kindness? No, you did some evil things sometimes too. But you pulled yourself out of that, and overall, you did it. You did it. I gave you free will. You did it the way you did it. It's not the way I would have done it.
But the end result was what I wanted.
What is maybe what I wanted, yes. Yeah. But also I gave you free will, and you did it this way. It's not maybe he does say that's the way I did it. That's the way I would have done it.
Yeah.
Trials and tribulations. But we gave you free will, so no matter what, you don't get shot somewhere else or entrance to somewhere. That's the point of the free will. You do it the way you want to do it. And that's if there is a bigger thing. That's the point of it. It gave everybody free will, and that's all it does. It doesn't criticize or anything. At the end, it goes, interesting take on it and the way you did it. And then Sally comes behind me and like, interesting take on the way you did it. And that's the experiment. That's why you got free will. I'll release everybody, and I get to see how they all do it.
Assuming we're not in the Matrix.
Which is possible.
Assuming
yesterday I had such a Matrix simulation thing, because I was like, dude, there's no way. Like, we've been talking about this for 8 years, people like me and you, and now it's just information is giving to me, but nothing's happening. Am I dreaming? Yeah. Am I in a simulation? Yeah.
Well, so this is the one thing that I think Trump did say that does make sense, whether you agreed with what he said when he said it or not, but it does kind of make sense when you really sit down and you think about it. He was like, look, if we release these files, there's going to be people mixed up in the files who didn't partake in the heinous side of things. Mm-hmm. They may have known, which I don't know that necessarily makes you innocent or guilty. I don't know that necessarily just because you knew about it, that means you should be hung in the streets like the people who did it. But I do think that this is a little bit of like a color revolution, where we don't quite know yet who we need to go after and who we don't need to go after. So I think that is a reason why there hasn't been necessarily anything done yet. I do also think that people are hopefully and being hopeful and praying that Congress does what's right, or someone does what's right. More Thomas Masseys begin to pop up and like at least trying to do the right thing. I think ultimately it's going to fall on us. That's the reality that's been setting in for me, and that's been a hard reality, because that's a scary reality, because if you really ultimately understand what that means, it's not going to be a fun thing. I knew you were bringing it to a head right here. Everybody wants to say that right now. Like, well, if all these elites and it topples everything, that's great. I'm like, well, chaos.
That's
chaos. You're not going to HEB the next day.
You better know how to survive, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're not going to HEB the next day. You know, like
the fall of Rome is crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you're not going to, I mean, it's beyond you're not going to HEB the next day. Like, everything, gas is gone.
Well, you were here for the ice storm, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But tenfold.
I talk about this a lot, dude. There were people with power, then there was people without power. I knew people without power who just had a newborn and had to sleep in their car with the heater on, right? Thankfully, it was only a week and some change.
Yeah.
Now, let's extend this to a month.
Yeah.
How long before that car runs out of gas and the heater no longer works? What's the next step? Okay, you go to your neighbor's house, you knock on the door, you ask them nicely, hey, can I please come in? If that person says no, you go to the next door, you ask nicely again, maybe once more. You ask nicely again, and you're like, can I please come in? And if that person says no too, how many more doors before the next door that opens, the gun is pointed at their face and you said, I live here now.
Yeah. But also, that's the realness of life there too, right? That's when also kind of brings back to the selfishness thing. People are going to perceive things the wrong way, but if you open your door and I say, hey, Brodey, I need to come in for some heat and stuff, and you're like, dude, I love you. We've been great neighbors, but there's no food out there, and you would definitely, like, if I house you, I'm going to feed. Did you bring food? Then maybe we can talk about it. But you gotta think about all that. It's not just heat anymore. Mm-hmm. Ice storm week long, come on in.
Yep.
This shit topples. Well, I would think in this world, maybe a month later, we'll probably start getting gas and stuff, but it's going to be real limited. I think it would get back running good, but it would definitely fuck things up real
For a
bad.
little bit.
Food is definitely fucked.
Yeah. It's a crazy thought.
It's wild. It's not far away to me.
No.
It's not far away.
No.
I mean, it's plain. It's right in front of us right now.
It's like tickling us.
Yeah, it's right in front of us right now.
It's like, hey, this is potentially right around the corner. But again, to what we just said a few minutes ago, what the fuck's the alternative? Because if we just brush this under the rug and the world keeps going like how it has been, what is life?
A lot of it, like, I definitely used to believe we're in parts of the world, and I still think this stands slightly true. Like, we have to have, right away, America shouldn't be over there. We shouldn't be getting involved in that. Well, we're making a foothold, and it would be crazier if we weren't there. You guys have to understand that. I think that still is happening, but it looks like we're footholding for someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like it's all been in their benefit, not in ours.
Also, we look to me, and I've always said this about stuff. Now, look, I've never been good at math, and am I some sort of a miracle economist? No. I'm better with words and like English and writing and sports. But, does it look like we've made everything up and we're like a big embezzlement? To me, yes. We can't just keep printing money and then it's always getting better here and things are funneling through here and then we send money over there. Like that, to me, looks like a big Ponzi scheme to me. And it always has to me. It always has to me.
Dude, the thing that I don't think is shaking people enough is the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell's dad...
That's wild, right?
...partnered with McGraw-Hill.
All of that.
That should be shaking people to the core because that right there means potentially every single thing you learned was manufactured.
Wouldn't it make sense in the fact that like it's so hard to get 90% of the population to stop fighting over red and blue? You're like, dude, stop that. But no, if you've been indoctrinated all your life.
You heard it growing up, your parents.
That's one of the crazy things with the conspiracies is that like all the things we run all the way back to just like Rothschilds, Ghislaine Max, like, dude, the people in power, which also, if you look at things, makes a lot of sense. Like, remember the first time you learned, I always just thought Kraft macaroni and cheese was Kraft macaroni and cheese. I thought Campbell's was Campbell's. And then the first time you learned that Johnson & Johnson, the baby oil, owns half the food stuff too. You're like, what? Betty Crocker isn't its own thing? Like whatever chip company isn't its own thing, this meat. The thing about the doctors right now, the insurance companies, like if you're a CEO of an insurance company, raise your hand. If you run also a parent company that's running pharmacies. Those 8 people raise their hand. If they own the middleman deciding whether people get insurance claims and what pharmacy to use, and you run that company, raise your, all 8 CEOs for the insurance company run their hand. If you own the hospital, all 8 CEOs, like there's a parent company for everything. So you don't think there's a parent company for
Dude,
for the world?
What's crazy is, Adam, is it's in your face. Even if you don't
It's
even
right there.
Even if you don't even do the research and see who owns whose company and blah 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 and what they're tied to. Even if you don't follow the money, if you just pay just a little bit of attention, when you go to your pediatrician or you go to these major hospitals and you're like, hey, what formula should I get? And they're like, oh, well, we sell this formula here. It's Inframil. The first ingredient is high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, sure.
Right there, you should be immediately going, oh, wait, hold on. I know that's bad. But I'm sitting in a very major hospital with seem like smart people, very intelligent people. And this right here is the formula that you're telling me I should buy, that you recommend, that you strongly recommend that this is the best formula. Okay, next thing, you go to the vet's office. Every time I take Arya to the vet, every time I tell them that she's on a raw diet, bro, I get a lecture every single time.
Really?
I get a lecture. And then I've even had it go a step further where the technician will go out into the little room, and you know those rooms, like the door is like this thick and they're right on the other side. I've heard the technician whisper to the doctor or the vet before she walks in or they walk in, going, he feeds her a raw diet, by the way. Yeah. Every time.
Well, the raw diet makes sense to me with an animal.
You would assume so, right? But no, they sell pedigree kibble that's right there, and that's how they get paid. That's how they make money. Vaccines. Dr. Mary Bolden said if she would have vaccinated every single one of her clients that she treated for COVID, she would have made an extra $1.5 million.
Yeah. My mom's heart attack was like 3rd booster. She was 69. So that was weird to me.
But people will just say, oh, well, she was 69. And then they'll point to your family history.
Yes.
And they'll do anything and everything but to jump around the fact that we know that turned your cells onto your heart.
It gave you, yes, it was definitely causing many people heart problems.
But that will never, ever be a conversation that you have.
I believe in some of the vaccines.
Sure.
I think polio was a good one.
But see, well,
I thought COVID was way too fast.
Polio is interesting because do you know that polio was decreasing significantly?
I've watched a lot of stuff on that.
Before the vaccine actually came out.
I think more so like, you know, they're like, we want to give you 4 vaccines. I was like, that's good. What are we up to? 60 now? Like a baby has to get 32 injections in the first month? Like that's crazy to me. We know it's monetary based.
Yeah. But people still, they go along. They just. Well,
it's wild to me that
they crave it.
The flu shot, I'm like, you're not going to die from the flu. Unless you're old and you get pneumonia. But you're old, you're supposed to die. Hello. We all had the chicken pox. And nobody dies from the chicken pox, dude. We're like, well, you can just not have it now. I'm like, yeah, but you don't have to do me like that. And I get it one time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, I got this little scar from it. I picked my face.
Oh, no shit.
Everybody's got that.
Yeah.
But that stuff's weird to me. That was like, Sierra and I got COVID pre-jab. And we got it pretty good. Mine was like literally like day 15, I went and did jiu-jitsu. But the 14 days prior to that,
pretty rough.
First 4 days sucked bad. Yeah. Really weird. It hurt and I was in bed, but I was so hungry still. And I never lost taste or anything, which was weird because flu, I'm never hungry. But this, I was like, I'm hungry. Well, I feel terrible. 4 days. And then I was tired, really tired for 10. Sierra barely had any problems, but had long COVID. So for the next 8 months, she was tired. Never really got the flu or anything from it. It wasn't bad for the 14 days. Never lost her taste or anything. But for the next 8 months, working out exhausted her. So she got long COVID. But my main point in that is that then like 3 months later, like, here, take this shot. And I was like, I had it. I had it when it was killing people. But I don't need your shot.
But then you're an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, I took Johnson & Johnson. I said, I'll do Johnson & Johnson because it's not an mRNA and it's one shot. And then that was a fight with my wife and my company. I was like, listen, you don't have to wear a mask at work if you get the shot. And I was like, yeah, all right. That's a win for me. I'm sick of this shit. Yeah. You guys are going so hard on it.
Dude, they were giving out French fries.
But also, Johnson & Johnson, which hurt women and pregnant women.
Yep.
But it was just COVID, and I had already had it, and it was one shot. I was like, you can do that. You're not giving me the mRNA, and I'm not doing boosters, which you had to do with that. When they took the Johnson & Johnson off the shelf after I got it, they're like, this one's...
Dude, I almost died.
This one's killing women.
I almost died.
Which one did you get?
I think I got Pfizer. It was the 2-dose.
Second dose, you almost died, or first dose?
That's a good question. I want to say first dose, but I could be misremembering. But I was...
Did you get your second dose still? I can't imagine you almost died and you're like, yes, I should go take more of this.
Did I go get I don't remember now. I don't remember the timeline now, but I was largely peer pressured by people in my life. My ex-girlfriend told me I'd never meet her parents if I didn't get it. And I was just starting to dabble my feet into quote unquote conspiracy land.
If I put my foot down, my wife probably would have. We're good at compromising, but she was like, be kind to other people. Like, and the hardest part for me, and I already said it now, was that there's like, old people are going to die. It's like, that's what they do.
But we know that was a lie. They lied to us.
Yeah, but again, so like lots of things are fun today in this conversation because it comes back around, right? Animals wipe out big clumps of animals when they're overpopulating. So like the universe, which I don't think it was the universe COVID at all, but if it were, then population control was on purpose, and it's going to take out the plague when we had no medicines, took out what they were supposed to do. People were living in squalor and shit, and it was overpopulated. It killed a lot, but you can't just live in the streets with shit and blood everywhere. Yeah. Got to clean ourselves. Yeah. My wife and I were talking about this last night. Back then, people don't really realize they had one set of clothes, and poor people never washed. The elites washed. Yeah. And they had different clothes, but poor people couldn't afford washing and only had. Can you imagine wearing one set of clothes for 20 years?
This is why I struggle with the whole the vaccine saved the world. Because sanitation came in at the same time. I think antibiotics were very important.
But I was just about to talk about antibiotics. But jiu-jitsu also teaches you how scary antibiotics are because we're on them more than people. And then you're like, fuck, one day I might really need a good antibiotic and it's not going to work anymore.
Yeah. Staph is...
Bro.
Dude, Mercer and Staph are scary.
The scariest. I was in the bathtub one day and I send the group chat. It's like Christian Kapinski, who's a brown belt, easily should be a black belt way before I ever was, but he switched schools a couple times, so he's like kind of stuck. I send the picture of my knee to this group. It's Luke Perry, Christian, a bunch of jiu-jitsu people. And I said, hey, I guess I twisted my knee. I just don't know when.
Oh!
And everybody is like, yeah, just ice it.
Right there in the middle, dude.
Yeah. And everybody's like, just ice it. And Luke has not entered the chat yet. And it's like, I'm sitting in the bath. I'm just taking a bath. And I take this picture of my knee. And Luke enters the chat. He's like, I need you to get out of the tub and go to the ER right now. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he zoomed in on the little pimple right there. And he's like, you have MRSA, or, you have staph. I get to the hospital, it is MRSA. And they're like, dude, we're scared. It's real close to your knee joint right now. So 24-hour antibiotic IV, and everything was fine. It didn't get in any joints, luckily. But dude, 2 more times after you get it once, you're super susceptible to it. So then like that year I was on fucking, what's the strong one called? Baxin or whatever, like too many times. And I was like, this is not right. I can't be on these fucking antibiotics this much. We all keep the goddamn creamy one at home just for whenever we think we have shit. We shouldn't be doing that, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I have the I keep the antifungal stuff around for sure.
Sure, for sure. That's very different, dude. Tapeworm is so different than a ringworm is so different than fucking staph, bro.
Yeah, I thankfully have not had staph yet.
Yes. Well, dude, I'll tell you, the most important thing is don't do, like I got the first one, that was Naga. And it made so much sense to me. I went to Naga. I was in the advanced division, went off first. Advanced goes off first. Then I coached everybody. So I never showered all day. But first and foremost, they roll those mats up and throw them in a dark ass semi truck and go to the next city. Who's washing those mats? Nobody watches those mats, dude.
That's crazy.
Those refs have been there for 10 hours that day. They got paid $50 for it. You think they were like, let's mop the mats, the 400 feet of mats before we roll them up?
That's crazy to think about.
2 Nagas, they're super fun. I loved it at Blue Belt because I was doing advanced and fucking tapping black belts and shit.
They are tough.
But just know, you might get MRSA.
Wear spandex.
Yes,
spandex.
Wear everything, and then take, like these days, you got the fucking man wipes and the woman wipes, whatever they are. Take them with you.
Yeah.
Go in the bathroom, get naked, and wipe all the way down with some kind of alcohol swab. Man wipes, whatever they are, wipe them down, and then put some regular clothes on. I just stayed in my sweaty ass, and I love not wearing the spandex. I was like, that's gay. See my legs.
Oh man,
I'm a real man.
Ah, dude, Adam, let's wrap it up. We got to do this again.
Absolutely.
That was so much fun.
It's so fun.
I appreciate you. Yeah, dude, you showed up yesterday. It was awesome. It was really good to see you. It's been too long.
It has been too long. You're a northerner. I'm a southerner. Like we are literally, I'm a southerner.
I know.
Mopac used to end at my house. It now goes past it.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, now that they've expanded 183 to be 4 lanes, traffic, like getting to Mopac, easy.
Getting here was no problem today.
Yeah, on the weekends, no problem.
The 183 is kind of eerie because I'm like, is it closed or is it open? I'm like the only one on that 2-lane right now. I'm like, this is so new. Nobody knows about it. I'm like, and there's cones everywhere. I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be on. Is it going to end? Am I going to fly off a fucking road?
YOLO, fuck it. I love it. Yeah, I mean, now that they've expanded that, getting to Mopac is not the issue. Once you get to Mopac now, though, the traffic is terrible during the week. So it's hard to make it down there. It's hard to make it down there for the week during the week, but I need to come down for a Friday because it's been too long.
5:30s for my class. All the other classes are at 6. So people often are like, "Why is it at 5:30?" I always did it at 5:30 for the last 2 years, and I just kept it that way. I asked my class, and those 30 people are pretty regular. So I was like, "Should we switch it?" So it was 6 and 7. I would teach all levels and then advanced. And then we were like, let's just do all levels and 7 o'clock open mat. And it would just be like Dylan, Connor, and Big Timothy. Did you ever meet Big Timothy?
Maybe. Yeah.
Michigan football player Timothy. Like played a starter. And I was like, dude, I can't keep rolling with these guys. So I was like, Curtis and me were talking, and he's like, 5:30, 6:30? And I was like, let's try that. And everybody started coming to Friday. Because everyone wants to go out Friday night, so coming in earlier works. So I do 5:30, 6:30.
Dude, I always loved the 5:30 start time because you could do, even living up here, I could do the 5:30 class and the night and the level 2 class and still be home by like 8. I'd be like, dude, this is incredible.
That's amazing.
You get to do 2 hours of jiu-jitsu and still be home by 8 o'clock. I was like, or 8:30 at the latest.
People who don't do jiu-jitsu don't realize how important to be home by 8 or 8:30 is because there's a wind down. You can't just come home and get. If you stopped at 10 and you're so tired from rolling, but you get in bed, your body is up for 4 more hours.
You're thinking about the fucking rolls. You're thinking about every single roll.
But your body is also hyped too, dude. Like you just can't. You need the downtime.
Adrenaline is a motherfucker.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah.
But tell everybody where they can find your class or find your class schedule, how they can come see you, come take your class.
Well, like I said, I'm a Tempe ATX white to black. I'm pretty proud of that under Curtis. So my classes are Friday night at 5:30 at Tempe ATX HQ, which is at Frydyke Lane, 4509 Frydyke Lane. It's amazing. We have a shit ton of mat space. And, you know, it's with me, so it's one of the funnest classes we offer because I'm loud and crazy. But we go over lots of good stuff, and it's fun. Every Friday at 5:30. And then we do open mat immediately afterwards, and that's always fun, too.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Adam, I appreciate it.
That was amazing, Jordan. I'm glad you had me on here.
Dude, I'm glad to have you. This was fucking awesome.
It was
about
a
as what I expected.
I'm still geeked up on this coffee.
And dude, I need to stop then because
I have 1 cup a day, and I started drinking coffee when I was 38. So coffee, I'm like so high strung already that like this stuff.
yeah,
Medici fucks me up,
It's
dude.
a
You
strong
get
cup of
Medici coffee ever?
Medici,
If I go into a Medici,
I think I have seen those.
I'm off the walls, dude.
I love it.
I appreciate it.
Love it, of course.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right, y'all. We'll see you next week.